We all agree tonight, all of the speakers have agreed that America has a very serious problem. Not only does America have a very serious problem, but our people have a very serious problem. America's problem is self-destruction and my self-destruction. Self-destruction and my self-destruction. Self-destruction and my self-destruction. Self-destruction and my self-destruction.
Well, today's topic, self-destruction, it really ain't the rap audience is bugging. It's one or two suckers, ignorant brothers, trying to rob and steal from one another. You get caught in the mid. So to crush that stereotype, here's what we did. We got ourselves together so that you can unite and fight for what's right. Not negative cause. The way we live is positive. We don't kill our relatives.
Pop, 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 when it's shot, who's to blame? Headline, front page, and rap's the name. MC Delight here to state the bottom line. The black on black crime was way before our time.
Took a rough life with a knife, that's his wife. Cried cause he died of trifling death when he left his very last breath. Was I slept, so watch your step. Back in the 60s, our brothers and sisters were hanged. How could you gangbang? I never ever ran from the Ku Klux Klan, and I shouldn't have to run from a black man, cause that's
self-destruction and my self-destruction. Self-destruction and my self-destruction. Self-destruction and my self-destruction. Self-destruction and
Funky fresh dressed to impress, ready to party. Money in your pocket, dying to move your body. To get inside, you pay the whole $10. Scotch tape with a razor blade, taped to your collar. Leave the guns in the crack and the knobs alone. MC lights on the microphone, bum rushing and pushing, snatching and taxing. I crammed understand why brothers don't be maxing. There's only one disco, they'll close one more. You ain't guarding the door, so what you got a gun for? Do you rob the rich and give to the poor? Yo, daddy-o.
Just straight from the mouth. And daddy-o, do a crime, end up in jail and gotta go. Cause you could do crime and get paid today, and tomorrow you're behind bars in the worst way. Far from your family, cause you're locked away. Now tell me, do you really think crime pays? Aiming on taking what your brother had?
you little sucker.
You talking all that jazz.
It's time to stand together in a unity. Cause if not, then we're soon to be self-destroyed, unemployed. Z-rap records will be lost without a trace or a clue but what to do is stop the violence and kick the science down the road that we call eternity, where knowledge is formed and you learn to be self-sufficient, independent. To teach the East is what rap intended, but society wants to invade. So do not walk this path that they laid. It's
self-destruction and my self-destruction. Self-destruction.
D-Nice, break it down like this.
Children growing, women producing, men go work inside the stand.
Self-destruction and my self-destruction. Self-destruction.
I'm Miss Melody and I'm a born again rebel. The violence is that must be successful. If we want to develop and grow to another level, we can't be guinea pigs for the devil. The enemy knows they're no fools because everyone knows the hip hop rules. So we gotta get it and grab what's good. The opposition is weak and rap is strong.
This is all about, no doubt, to stop violence. But first, let's have a moment of silence. Swing. This has been stated, re-educated, evaluated. Thoughts of the past have faded. The only thing left is the memories of our belated. And I hate it when someone dies and get all hurt up for a silly gold chain by chump. Word up. It doesn't make you a big man, and you wanna go and dish your brother, man. And you don't know that's part of the plan. Why? Cause rap music is in full demand. Understand?
Self-destruction and my self-destruction.
My name is just Ice, a man, not a prankster. I was known as the gangster, but believe me, that is no fun. The time is now to unite everyone. You don't have to be soft to be for peace. Robbing and killing and murdering is the least. You don't have to be changed by the beast. But party people, it's time I release. Hey yo, here's the situation. Idiocy, nonsense, violence, not a good policy. Therefore, we must ignore, fight and bust it. Have this at the door so there'll be no bum rushing. Let's get together because we're falling apart. I heard a brother shot another, it broke my heart. I don't understand the difficulty, people. Love your brother, treat him as an equal. They call us animals, I don't agree with them. I'll prove it wrong, the right is what you're proving them. Take keys before I leave to what I'm saying, or we'll all be on our knees praying. Heavy beat,
deep in the heart of the matter. The self-destruction is served on a platter, making a day, not failing to anticipate. They got greedy, so they fell for the bait. That makes them a victim, picked and plucked. New jack in jail, but to the vets give a duck. There's no one to rob, cause in jail you're a number. They never took the time to wonder about self-destruction. It was self-destruction. Self-destruction. It was self-destruction.
Yes, we urge to merge. We live for the love of our people, the hope they get along. Getting a point to our brothers and sisters who don't know the time.
So we run around.
Set in your head, you know our job to build and collect ourselves with intellect. To evolve the self-respect. Cause we got to keep ourselves in check, or else it's
Self-destruction. It was self-destruction. Self-destruction. It was self-destruction.
What's up, YouTube? Good morning to ya. I have not sent a link out for this particular live stream yet, but I will in just a minute. I'm trying to get it together. Thank God it's Friday. TGIF! Thank God it's Friday! Friday! Alright, I've got to figure out a couple of technical things here. So bear with me for a minute before we get to doing what we need to do up in here. Okay. For some reason, YouTube has decided to make life hard, for me anyway, and no longer let me use Hangouts and do this stupid encoding crap. So it looks like I have, my channel looks like I have, screw it. I'm just going to put this link out. My channel looks like I've got 2 or 3 live streams going on at the same time. I don't know what's going on. I'm tired now. I tried to work this thing, but anyway, as long as I can run my mouth, I don't care about the other technical difficulties right now. So what I'm going to do now, I love to curse on the weekends. I really don't like to curse. I've been cursing a lot more lately because, quite frankly, the news is just not really all that good. Let me see what I could do here. Invite only. So yeah, let me see what I've done here. Okay, I think this is good. I think I'm done on this end here. But yeah, TGIF. I started early this morning here in sunny Southern Cali. SoCal. SoCal is the place to be. SoCal. LA, Hollywood, Santa Monica, Venice Beach. Oh, I could go on and on and on. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. And it is nice and hot and sunny. And today, we'll have a little bit of roasting. I don't know why people are always telling me, hey, you should roast such and such. Why don't you go roast this person? You know, I'll tell you, you all are some meanies. I don't want to roast anymore, you know? I'm like Big Pun and Joe from back in the day. You know that song, I don't want to be a player no more. I don't want to be a roaster no more because I know it just kills people. You know, it just slices and dices folks. It makes people mad. You know? And then, you know, it shatters people's egos. But some of these people need their egos shattered. Don't you agree with me? Come on now. Some people do need to get a reality check. And it's not because, you know, somebody's trying to be mean. Come on now. Some people do need to get a or, What am I doing here? People do need to get. Ah, okay. All right. I just wanted to check if that was working. Got a little delay on that one there, but as I said, some people do need a bit of a reality check. Seriously, so we'll have a little bit of that going on sometime soon on this live stream. But you know, lately in the news here, we've had this shooting stuff with El Paso and Dayton, Ohio, and there's been shootings. The issue of gun control, it's been a hot topic for some time now, for some years now. And this last shooting in El Paso was thought to be linked to a racial hate, immigration. This time it's against Hispanic and Mexican Americans and things like that. And it's getting really scary. It's getting really scary because people feel emboldened with their hatred and their racism and biases of various sorts, and they feel like maybe the president is encouraging it or open to it or supportive of it, you know what I mean? um, and it's really sad to know that children have been shot and killed in all of this, not just adult people, but children. A little child in El Paso, I think he was 6 years old. That's somebody's baby. That's somebody's baby. That's somebody's grandbaby. That's a person that could have grown up to invent a cure for a disease. We don't know that. We'll never know that. That's a person that could have grown up to help feed the homeless. That's a person that could have just been a dad, a hero to someone's family, to their own family. That could have been a great dad or a great mom, a wonderful grandmother. It could have been someone that could have been a really great attorney that helped people with their eviction process. Could have been a housing rights attorney that could have helped your grandmother or your daughter or your son or your husband or your girlfriend through a hard time. We'll never ever know that. And this is why I'm talking about this today, is that these shootings have got to stop. It's no longer just about race, although race is a big part of the discussion, right? I mean, this last shooting, the person was aiming for immigrants, Hispanic immigrants. And there's lots of different kinds of immigrants. I mean, there's people from Germany. You wouldn't be able to tell them physically from anyone else unless they started speaking to you and told you they were an immigrant. But when we talk about immigrants and people, undocumented immigrants, there's a lot of different kinds of undocumented immigrants aside from Mexican American or Hispanic. But these are just easier to to single out because of physical characteristics. But what do you think about gun control? Where do you stand on gun control? I personally am ambiguous about it. There are some strong points on both ends, pro or con, and I personally cannot make a definitive yay or nay on it. Given with all of the things I've seen and researched and talked about and experienced myself, let me tell you about one experience I had. Okay, and I'm thinking now that with all of the new stuff going on, I should maybe see if I could get some therapy for this particular experience I had. I never thought about it much after it happened. I guess maybe in my young mind, I just didn't know how to really process it. And all these years up until recently, I've thought maybe I should go and seek some counseling for this situation, even though I might not feel like I'm traumatized by it. But maybe I should talk to somebody about it. Let me tell you what had happened. I was in seventh grade, and seventh grade, I went to a junior high school, Goodwin Junior High, and they had switched my classes. They had changed my schedule a few weeks earlier, and I had a new science teacher. This one was for third period. Her name was Miss Smith, and Miss Smith was a very mild mannered, quiet type of teacher. She wasn't in your face. From what I remember just a lot of quietness in that class. People didn't act out. They didn't. It's just a lot of quietness in the class and doing your work. You went in and did your work. Well, I sat way far at the other end of the class by the windows. So a lot of times I was bored in there, and I would look out in the windows and you could see the other classes that went to PE. Sometimes the kids there, and I could sometimes wave at them, and we would have like codes with different finger signs we would do to say basically hi, I'm bored, what are you up to? Nothing, I'm bored too type of communication. But one day in third period, it was just another regular school day for me. And Miss Smith, sometimes, she would say, I'll be back in a few minutes, class. Continue to do your work. And nothing out of the ordinary would happen. She'd come back, and that was that. So this day, when she said, I'll be back, she was just as calm as a cucumber. There was no inkling that anything was wrong, that there would be an emergency. It was just as calm as ever. She says, I'll be back. And I'll be back in a few minutes. Uh, you know, Continue to do your work. So that's what happened. But when she came back with school police officers, school security, and police, a bunch of people, and they were outside. They didn't just barge in. And one of the officers was right behind her. We didn't see all this. We just saw her come in the door, and she motioned over to one of my classmates that was sitting on that side of the room, and she told him to come over. She says, come here, let me talk to you for a minute. And it was just as calm. You were like, okay, all right, there was no urgency or no commotion, no panic. And he got up and he walked out. She closed the door, and they arrested him. I mean, they handcuffed him. They detained him, and then came in, and got his stuff. And we still didn't know what was wrong. It was like, okay, he's in trouble, but we don't know. And then we found out that he had a gun. He had brought a gun to class. And the desks that we had at the time, the school desks, had these little cubbies underneath the seat where you could put your books under. Well, I guess he had his gun with the books, and she happened to see it. And she was as calm as ever. No one had any clue. Matter of fact, even years after I just talking about it, I don't feel traumatized or freaked out about it, but I think I should be. I think I really should be. Now, this was many, many years ago. This was many, many years ago. But I guess the point is this shooting thing with people shooting and wanting to shoot to solve their conflicts has been around for a long time, and kids have been doing it. Teenagers have been doing it. Old people. Just 2 days ago, first day of school in Montgomery, Alabama. This is where Shannon Ferrari and Zeb Henry are from. That's where they live. It's really sad because the whole city's a war zone. I mean, they're shooting everywhere, not just in the bad neighborhoods, quote unquote. It's all over the city, and it's just
it's really scary and sad. It has declined. You would think after so many years a city would have progressed, but not this one. This one has declined. It didn't even stay stuck. It reverted. It regressed. And that is super sad to see about a city, any city. You know what I mean? I don't want to see good people living in an area where they're unsafe, where they can't relax, where they're constantly on guard for their lives. I don't like to see little kids being scared to go to school. But that's exactly what's going on in Montgomery, Alabama. They had a recent school shooting 2 days ago. First day of school, and this was in an elementary school, Blunt Elementary School in Montgomery, Alabama. And I think this is a private school, or it's one of the, I believe it might be one of the nicer schools. Okay, and guess what? Dad is over here shooting at somebody else's dad while they're dropping off their kids. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? And why is he shooting at the other dad? Road rage crap. Somebody parked in a space in front of you and that's supposed to be yours, or maybe they cut you off in traffic, or they shot you a bird, or maybe they called you a racist name, but that's no reason to try to take someone's life out. What's up, Charlie Smith? What's up, baby? How you doing? I'm going to get to the roasting in a bit, Charlie, but I want to talk about some of these shootings and some of this other stuff. But yes, I mean, they should take the kids. CPS needs to come take those kids from whoever shot the whoever shooting. Now, I don't have the whole story straight. There's one story that you see in the newspaper, and then when you go talking to people in the community who know these people, who have kids that go to school there, in that school, there's another level of knowing that develops from there. Okay, so I don't really know all the details. I don't know if it was one person that shot and then the other one shot back. But in any case, why in the hell are these kids still with these people? They need to take those kids away from those people who are shooting, or that person who was shooting. CPS needs to come take those kids away. And they need to take the guns away from these people. And there just needs to be a lot done. I don't have all the answers, but something needs to be done to stop this. This is ridiculous. This is terrible. This is mental health needs to be involved. There needs to be mental health intervention. Clearly, there's something wrong with the mental state of a parent who's going to pull out a gun and shoot at another parent for something stupid like road rage. It's not really about the road rage. There's something else going on. And like I said, this isn't an isolated case. When we talk about shootings, Montgomery, Alabama, there's shootings. There's like dozens of shootings all over the place every day. It's nothing new to these people. They don't get all panicky anymore. I mean, it's just, you just hear the rat tat 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 rat tat 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 rat tat tat sounds like firecracker outside the window all the time. You just get used to it. You just hit the floor. You just hit the floor. That's your automatic response. Hit the floor. If you hear some rat-tat-tat, hit the floor. Stay away from the windows. Hit the floor. And it's sad that people have to live like that. I don't have all the answers, but I think CPS and taking those people's guns away and mental health would be a really great start. Mental health. Mental health. So, my heart goes out to El Paso, Dayton, Ohio. They had something in Dayton too. I mean, it's insane. And The country's definitely divided. There's a lot of division, and I think people have held down their racism and their anti-immigration and just hatred for other people, whatever reason, if it's a race that they don't like or a group or a religion, just hatred. People have harbored a lot of hatred and resentment and violence within, and they feel more emboldened than ever in this time period to come out. And it's really ironic because on the other end, you have this huge wave of exposing predators, of exposing bad people like Jeffrey Epstein and this whole Me Too movement, and beyond the Me Too movement. I call it the Me Too movement, but it's a lot bigger than that. It's not just Me Too. It's a whole wave of exposing abuse of the worst kind in institutions, big institutions like the Catholic Church, for example. And this has been going on for some years, many, many years. It started back with Boston Globe and Spotlight when they exposed all of these bishops, hundreds and thousands of bishops that the church knew that had, years and years of child sexual abuse allegations, and even confessed. A lot of these people confessed to it in their private church judicial meetings or whatever they called themselves doing. The bottom line is they weren't cleaning up. They weren't going to the police. They weren't helping the victims. They were covering up, and they were causing more abuse and encouraging it. That's basically what it boils down to. So I don't know where you stand with gun control or even having guns, but it's definitely a topic that I guess we all are going to need to look at because these shootings are happening everywhere now. Used to, you could say, oh, that only happens in big cities. These things, they only happen in they only want to go for big metropolitan areas. So if you're in a small town, or if you're in a rural area, you could have, for a while, I mean, I guess that's what some people would say is maybe, well, it's probably not going to happen here. Nobody cares about Titus, Mississippi, or um, Froggy Bottom, Georgia, you know, or some kind of way out of the way place, right? But then now, you've got things like El Paso and some of the other areas that are not major metropolitan areas necessarily, and no one's really safe, right? You don't want to go out to the restaurant or to the grocery store anymore. You're just afraid to go out, and you have to think about this topic in some kind of way. What about gun control? Should we still all have guns? And if we do care, should be allowed to have guns, what are the controls? What kind of tests or precautions? Should anybody be able to carry a gun? I don't think so. But then you have this protection issue. Well, then how would they protect themselves if they should? Everybody should be safe, right? Everybody should be able to protect themselves. But are guns the key? Well, you have so many complexities with that. You have this thing with the good guy with the gun. Like in El Paso, there was an African American man who saved a lot of children. Okay. And he came out there with a gun. But, a black man running with a gun and you hear shooting, most of the time police are going to shoot that black man. And, he's a military officer, well respected military officer. I'm going to find his name again. Let's see. Glendon Oakley, that's him. Glendon Oakley, he's a soldier that saved children from the El Paso shooting. But the thing is, here we are again. He was lucky he wasn't getting shot because that could have likely happened. Very, very likely. But him being a soldier, and he was carrying his concealed weapon, and he was in the store, and this little kid ran in the store. There's a store across from where the shooting was, and he said, "There's people shooting in the mall." And this guy, Glendon, and the clerk looked at each other and they were like, well, this is a little kid. So, I guess they thought this little kid was fibbing or playing around or whatever. Right. And then when he came outside, he heard the shots. He heard the shooting and he saw people running. So that's when he grabbed his weapon, his gun out of his car, and he went over there and he took care of business. He went with the security guards from the store there that he just left. And I guess they went on in there. I didn't read the whole story, but in a nutshell, he helped save some kids. And you have this thing, the good guy with the gun in a bad situation. How would people know if he's the good guy or the bad guy, even if he was an African American, even if he was a white guy? You just don't know if he's the shooter. He's somebody with a gun. You're seeing people run and you're hearing shots. I'm not going to try to figure out if he's the good guy or the bad guy, right? I'm going to run away. I ain't going to listen to this guy. Hell no. I'm going to run away and save my life. And the only other person I'm worried about is any loved one or family member. But now he was worried about other people's kids. He said, if I had kids, I'd want somebody to save my kid. And he said he saw a lot of adults just running. He told them, help me help me save these kids. And they were just running for their own life, for which I don't fault people. This is an emergency. You're not going to be able to think straight. So whatever happens to save, if you manage to save your life, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. It's heroic if you go and risk your life to save another life. Okay. But in any case, in other instances like this, the good guy was shot. And we have this thing with the wrong guy being shot because this guy was trying to help, but no, people didn't know. He was just a gun, a man with a gun, and you hear shots fired, you run. And as far as police officers, if you have a gun in your hand, you're gonna get shot. You're lucky if you don't get killed, but that's the law. They have to protect themselves and other people. And if a person has a gun in their hand, they don't know who you are if you're not a fellow police officer. And it's fortunate that he survived and he wasn't shot and he was able to help kids. But anyway, the whole problem with these things is what do we do about this? How do we handle this situation? The good guy with the gun in a bad emergency like El Paso, for example. Because there's other stories where the good guy got shot. The wrong guy was shot and he was killed. He ended up being killed because people just didn't know. And it causes problems. It can cause problems, right? Because if the police is chasing the wrong guy, the actual shooter can get away. So it can be a distraction, it can be an interference, but at the same time, it can be a lifesaver here, as we see with El Paso, which is very crucial. I mean, he saved a bunch of children. These are a ton of people that are indebted to him for his heroic action there, because he didn't know any of these people. Those weren't his kids. I don't even think he has kids of his own. And he was across the street. He could have stayed safe in his car. He could have drove away, but he went into the danger. He could have been shot. He could have been shot. Very, very, very likely that he would have been shot because he's a black man with a gun running, just a black man running even, in America. In some parts of America, just being black is a crime. Or being colored, as they say, colored in the South. That's anybody who has any kind of, anything in them. Native American, Spanish, Puerto Rican, Chinese. That's all colored to the deep South there. Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, Texas, Florida, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina. Heck, I think even in Utah, in parts of Wisconsin, Milwaukee, definitely, right? Milwaukee's a funny place. So yeah, the El Paso shooting. I'm telling you, it's been on my mind. It's been on a lot of people's minds. Okay, let's see what Charlie Smith says in the chat. I think only certain trained police should have them. Talking about guns. Okay, okay. You cannot ever know what hatred or hurt an everyday person can have, or crazed religious beliefs. Psychopaths pass lie detector. How can anybody know the true mental state of a so-called sane person? I know 100% facts. There are corrupt police, but better, only certain trained police should be the only ones with access to guns. Okay, okay. I can totally see how that makes sense. On the other end, there's the issue of, well, how do we protect ourselves from police? Because not all police is to be trusted, right? We see a lot of bad police officers make it bad for the good ones that are really out there doing their job, and because it's so corrupt. It's so corrupt. You have police shooting people in the back with their hands up. I saw a news report last week about a police officer. He just pulled a gun on this dude at the gas station. It was on video, and the guy was just buying his food, his gum and his sandwich and his can of soda, and for whatever reason, the police officer pulled a gun on him, and the guy was like, "What did I do wrong?" He was like, "No, you're under arrest," just out of the blue, out of the blue. You have a lot of this stuff popping up everywhere on video cams, and it's just really sad because there are a lot of good police officers, but you just don't know. So, if you have somebody coming at you, here's the gun issue again, you know. If only trained and responsible police officers should have them, what kind of criteria should be set forth? Because the criteria that we have now isn't working. It's not. There's a lot of brutality, a lot of abuse going on even within the police force, and it's not just from police officers to civilians, but it's within the police force, of police officers against other police officers within the police force. And this isn't just isolated in one part of the world or one part of the country. This is all over the globe. You have uh, female police officers coming out and talking about being sexually harassed, and some of them even raped and abused, or being discriminated against because for certain, because they're female. Or you have, of course, you have the racial thing going on. So you have a lot of issues with that as well. And then if we have civilians that are allowed to carry guns, what kind of criteria should we set forth? For one thing, I think mental health is a big, big key. I think mental health is a big key uh, as to whether or not a person can carry a weapon. And you have a lot of other issues with that. You have gun ownership, and what if a child gets a hold of that gun? Of course, you have people say, "Oh, I have my gun locked away, very safe. My kids can't get to it." But how many stories are out there with people that had just that going on, and somehow their kid got a hold of the gun, either shot themselves or shot someone else? So it's a heated topic. It's a very complex topic. I'm totally on that same sheet of paper that police officers definitely need to be trained. We only need to have responsible people who are not going to abuse their power behind that gun. But how do we get from here to there? The devil's in the details, and I don't have all the answers. I wish I did, but there's a lot of question marks there for me, a lot of them, and I'm not. It isn't a straight line for me. It isn't. There's a lot of gray area there. All right, Charlie in the live chat says. She says here, yes, that is the problem. I think being from England, I live without them. I know this would never happen ever, but a total wipe out on guns, blanket worldwide. Well, yeah, I'm with you. I don't think that would ever happen. Even if there was a total ban on guns, you would still have an underbelly of society, a black market. That's with anything. With anything out there, anything that's forbidden, you're gonna have a black market for it automatically. But I would like to see, in an ideal world, I would love to see the root cause of gun violence and abuse in general to be dissolved and to be healed, to be transmuted. I don't believe in ripping something away and destroying it and eliminating it as much as I believe in transmuting it. And there's different kinds of transmutations that can occur. As far as alchemy, when you talk about transmutation, alchemy is a big thing because if you know the history of alchemy, it is all about turning lead into gold. And this is what we have here. We have lead, we have the black, the darkness of violence that we all are going to have to, we're all forced to face this, whether we face the news or not. Anything can happen, nothing is guaranteed. Today is not guaranteed, much less tomorrow. You might be okay now, but 2 hours from now, I hope it never happens for any of us here, anyone, but you know what I'm saying. Nothing is guaranteed anymore. And well, it wasn't anyway. There's no guarantee in life. I mean, you can increase the chances and odds of something, of a certain outcome, right? It's not like you're going to lay back and say, oh, okay, I'm just not going to do anything anymore because nothing's guaranteed anyway. You can increase the odds of a result or an experience, but it's not guaranteed. And this is the price we pay for free will. We all have free will, so we are in this game called life, But yeah, gun control, sticky topic. Like I said, I'm ambiguous on it. I can't really give you a pro or a con because depending on who I talk to, there are some really, really strong points that I can agree pro gun. I can also agree against against guns, against having guns. It's not a black or white thing to me. There's a lot of gray areas. Like I said, everyone should be able to protect themselves and their family. um and sometimes that isn't possible. But at the same time, gun ownership also presents a lot of complications and problems, especially if you have children around. No matter how safe and how many precautions you take, there's always the possibility that a child or someone else could get that gun and hurt you or themselves or other people. Then also, if you have a gun, if you find yourself being burglarized or attacked in your home, there's the possibility of the predator getting your gun and using it against you. So there's a lot of problems with either side. And it is a topic we do need to talk about, though. And I've never really wanted to talk much about it because it was so controversial. But the shootings are so massive now, all over the place, all over the world, that we can't afford to ignore it anymore. There's a lot of things we need to face, and this is one of them. In my opinion, the root cause of gun violence is violence, straight up abuse, child abuse. And this is why it's so important. This is why it's so important for people to know about the Jehovah's Witness child abuse, their database. In my eyes, because that's what I personally experienced, was child abuse within the Jehovah's Witness and within the family unit. And I'm by far not the only one. There's many, many people. You might be one of those. I hope you're not, but if you are, then you definitely understand this, that there are many people that are going through this now, many kids We aren't the first or the last, but we don't have to be part of the enabling process. We don't have to be silent. We don't have to take it to our graves. And I think for all the people coming out, whether they're coming out on a smaller scale, individual scale like me or you, maybe, if you've been one of those people, or someone you know, or on a larger scale where you have like the R. Kelly survivors or the Epstein survivors that have come out, it's necessary. It's hard. It's risky. You might end up losing everything. But at the end of the day, you can lay your head down knowing that you're not part of that enabling process. Because if you know it's happening and you remain silent, you're part of the enabling process. Now, I know you might have a situation, it might be people you love involved, and you don't want to hurt them. You don't want to see them go to jail. You don't want to, you know what I mean? Okay. And you might be dependent on them financially. They might have bought you a house. You might have sold out to your own parents. They might have sold you out since your beginning days of consciousness on this earth. All right. But the real fact of the matter is you are part of the enabling process of childhood sexual abuse. And while most people who have gone through that don't end up being mass shooters or killers or criminals of any sort, a lot of them do. And I'll tell you something about this. While most people who have been abused don't end up being criminals, they endure excruciating pain and suffering throughout their life, lifelong to the grave. And why would you be part of someone who knew that was going on and kept silent? Why would you be part of that if that happened to you? Why would you keep silent and perpetuate that? Now, I'm not ambiguous about this particular topic because I did just that. I told, and you could say I lost everything, but that was what I was willing to pay. That was what I was willing to pay. You see, because while not everybody turns into a mass shooter, there's a lot of pain that's still caused in people's lives because of what I believe to be the root cause of gun violence. The guns themselves don't pick themselves up and shoot at you. It's a person behind that gun. And so what did that person behind the gun experience and think and decide? How did that decision to shoot you or shoot another person come to be? Because a normal, healthy person, no matter what kind of conflict you're dealing with, especially road rage, a healthy person would have many, many other tools available to them, and they would be aware of that ever before they ever get to the idea of pulling out a gun. But that's my thing, my personal opinion. I don't have any kind of research that I've done on it to give you any kind of numbers today, but I think the abuse that is in the family unit, and people don't want to admit that there is child abuse, and it's not necessarily having to be as extreme as what you might see on TV. emotional and mental cruelty is very rampant in American families, and I think in global families, because some cultures are just really, really bad, but they're not aware that that's called abuse. When you have a culture that fat shames people, when the family fat shames a member, they don't see it as abuse because that's how they've always been. That's how the whole country is. That's their tradition, even. They might even see it as tradition. Traditions are, a lot of people's traditions are really abuse, whether it's verbal violence or even physical violence. Like, I think circumcising young babies, that's violence. That's abuse. I know a lot of people would have contradictory arguments on me about that. And, while this live stream isn't about that, I do welcome them. But to me, it's abuse. Of course, to other people, it's religion, and it might even be considered holy or ritual or whatever. So, there you go with that. But until we face the fact that child abuse, whether physical, mental, emotional, sexual, or spiritual, and I think they cross over. Sexual abuse is crosses over to all levels because the emotions are affected, the spirit of the child is affected. It is very physical. Okay, so child abuse, facing that in our family, and to what extent, to what degree. Okay, because I'll tell you something now. In my years, I've talked to a lot of different people, and they would say, I don't know if I was abused. I don't know. And throughout getting to know them, throughout the years of talking here and there about things and sharing, you come to see a gradual opening up of people, you know, and you have these conversations like, well, do you think it was abuse? Do you think this was weird that so and so's parents would walk around completely naked around them to the point where they could see the dad's genitals and his testicles? The daughters being 10, 11, 12 years old. Do you think that's not abusive, is it? I wouldn't really call that abuse, would you? And you hear these questions posed to you, because you've shared things with each other about your life experience and all that. So this kind of stuff, people say, well, nothing happened. I was never touched, but it was just weird because, dad would always come in when I used the bathroom and just watch me. And I just felt weird, but, he never touched me or anything. Is that abusive? Yes, that is still sexual abuse. It's, I would say, also emotional, mental. Uh, clearly this bothered you. You knew there was something wrong, and you could sense that this was not normal. So, but these things people carry to their graves because they tell themselves, well, you know, nothing physical ever happened, so, I could just ignore it. But it bothers them and eats away at them, you see, and they still suffer because they're confused. This is, dad or uncle or brother or whatever, someone you love. Someone, and if the family's complicit in it and tells you to, look the other way, then now you not only have that to deal with, but you have the betrayal of mom or dad or whoever, uncle or whoever that knew and you knew and helped cover it up. And is even trying to tell you, oh, you don't remember that right. That's a fantasy. You have such a good imagination. hmm Right? There's a lot of that going on. Or you got, doesn't even have to be sexual. You have mental abuse that can mess people up really bad too. Number one, you don't see the physical scars, so you tend to dismiss it, and others tend to dismiss it. It might take you 20, 30 years of your life to realize that that big scar from the mental and emotional abuse you went through as a kid at home took a toll on you. You know, a lot of this stuff is like an invisible dome. You don't even know you're in prison until you mature. It might take you a lot longer to mature and process things in your adult years, to reflect back and see just how extreme, to what degree the abuse that you might have experienced you was. So anyway, there's a lot of stuff there that I think people need to really sort out within themselves. And I think until we do that, we're going to have problems like this, and it's only going to escalate. The more you look away, the more it's going to fester, you know. And that's my take on it as far as with the guns. Charlie Smith says in the live chat, true, not even paradise. Yeah, yeah, that's true. So I told you about my own situation in seventh grade. I don't know. I might go to a counselor and talk about it. I don't feel freaked out about it, but I feel like I should be freaked out about it. But then I'm like, this is so many years ago. Why would I freak out about it now? You know. Um, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it now. But so yeah, that's something for me to sort out on my own. I don't really know how to feel about it. But I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about predators. Now I know I've been on Jeffrey Epstein, but I want to talk to you about this transgender predator here. Okay, somebody told me about this person. Okay, and I'm hesitant to call her or her because I think this person is an imposter to the trans folk, and I'll tell you in a minute why. Okay, but the person's name is Jessica Yaniv. I'm gonna put that out in the live stream channel. Hey Linda babe, what's up, Aposta babe? It's been a long time since I've seen you.
Hey, honey, babe. Oh, Jehovah, you got all them ex-Jehovah Witness apostates up in here.
Oh, shut up, Billy Bertha. All right, Jessica Yaniv. Yaniv. If you're listening through audio, all right. When you get bored, Google this character sometime. Really, really horrible, horrible person. And I don't think it's a real transgender person because, ooh, this person makes it bad for real transgender people. And I'm just, all right. So sexual predator. The person has this obsession with tampons. It's disgusting. It's really disgusting. And that individual, I'm going to call this an individual, okay, because I'm hesitant to recognize this as a trans woman. But the person poses as a trans woman and goes into women's bathrooms and asks 10 to 12-year-olds, has very specific age range. This person targets little girls, 10 to 12-year-olds, for tampons, and carries tampons on their person just in case little girls run up to them, her or him, and ask him for pet tampons. Okay, now I don't know. I've never heard of any girls running up to a stranger and saying, excuse me, can you give me a tampon? Especially at 10 or 11, 12 years old. Are you kidding me? So that's already weird. That's nasty and sick. All right. But anyway, the whole deal, how this person became on the news scale was that uh, this Jessica Yaniv went to get Brazilian wax. Okay, and I'm just gonna say she. She went to get her body Brazilian waxed. Okay, and I guess with the Brazilian wax, it's not the same for men as it is for women. I guess they wax your genitals, all right? And the ones that are trained in doing women don't always know how to do the men. They're not trained to do wax on men, okay? On male genitals. I'll say male genitals, not men, okay? Because men and women is a gender, so let me correct myself. They are trained on doing the Brazilian wax on female genitals, and they aren't trained on doing the male genitals, okay? Because you have to get special training because they're obviously different, okay? I can understand that. So this Jessica Yaniv over there, I think it's in Canada, gained notoriety over ongoing human rights complaints against aestheticians, and many were newcomers to Canada who declined to give the transgender woman a Brazilian wax due to her penis and testicles. Okay? Look, I'm just going to be straight with you. If you're transgender, okay, and you are trying to get Brazilian wax, you need to be realistic about what's between your legs. Yes, you are a woman, but you have male genitalia. Okay? Some things in this life, you're going to have to be treated for the male genitalia because that's what's there. It doesn't take anything away from who you are, right? And I think any healthy, real transgender woman would understand that enough to not put these aestheticians through this mess. Anyway, this Jessica here, I think she went to 16 different aestheticians, and she dogged them, she hounded them, she harassed them for weeks and weeks. When they said no, I'm not going to do this Brazilian wax on you, she just hounded them, and she ended up suing them. She ended up suing. She ended up suing or wanting to sue these aestheticians for discrimination. And I think she was using the law to her advantage. It says here, trans activist Jessica Yaniv's human rights complaints brought her prominence. Now she's accused of harassment and predator behavior. All right, so it says here, as the tribunal has heard Yaniv's complaints, outrage has been roused over the possibility that anti-discrimination laws require women to wax male genitalia. Now, I will say this. I don't believe they have to wax male genitalia. If a woman doesn't want to do that, and she is not trained to do that in her profession, then you need to move the fuck on. That is not discrimination. Number one, she's saving you by not trying to attempt something she's not trained for. Thank you. Thank you, because I'm telling you, I hate when people cut my hair and they don't know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Don't try to do something out of your circle of competency. That's professionalism. That's not discrimination. Okay? Um, so what's happened is that this Jessica Yaniv has used this human rights LGBT discrimination thing to her advantage because she can sue them without having to hire an attorney. Okay, because it's under I want to say federal, or what we would probably compare to the American federal level there in Canada. I don't have the terms for the legal thing there, the laws there, but she doesn't have to have an attorney. They will sue on her behalf because she's under the transgender discrimination law. Well, now the other ladies that are being sued by her under this they do have to hire attorneys, and they don't have a lot of money. So it's really nasty what she's doing. It's really nasty. It's really nasty. So, but this isn't all of it here. There's a lot of allegations here. This is really a hot topic. Maybe I don't even know how to do a screen share anymore with this thing. Sorry, guys. But you can Google this. I'm on nationalpost.com/news/ Jessica hyphen YN as in Noah, I as in Ivan, V as in Victor, Yaniv. Um, Yaniv 32 is pursuing more than a dozen identical human rights complaints against salons for refusing to wax her crotch. She still has male genitals, but says she is on a wait list for genital surgery. Okay, and I'm thinking she's probably trying to sue to get the money for surgery. I mean, that's what it looks like to me, and it's just really disgusting what she's doing. I'm not in agreement with it, and I will have people know this is not what transgender people, LGBT people are like. This is a predator who is using the ruse of being transgender. I personally don't see her as transgender. Okay, and even if she was, this person has. Before you even get to the transgender thing, this is a predator. This is a horrible person here. Okay. Anyway, there's something about now coming out about this person and, going after young girls, and it's being creepy, asking young girls for tampons, 10-year-old girls for tampons, and just being obsessed with women's menstruation and weird, nasty crap like that. I mean, I'm not saying menstruation is nasty, okay, but even women, I don't think women would talk about it, with an obsession like that. It's if they do, it's because they have to, maybe, because it's part of what's happening. But I don't think they would just be like all obsessed with it, and not to this point. I don't. This is not what women do. Okay. Um, but I think perverts and predators, and creeps is another story. But it says here that this Yanhiv has been arrested. And let me see here. It says waving stun gun on live stream lands transgender body waxing activist behind bars. So clearly this is someone crazy. I mean, they've titled this person transgender body waxing activist. Like, what the hell? Are you going to be an activist for body waxing? Could you find something more ridiculous, please? But so it says here, British Columbia transgender activist Jessica Yaniv Wright brandishes an electric stun gun during a live interview with commentator Blair White, Monday, August 5th. RCMP officers arrested Yaniv at her home hours later. Brandishing a stun gun during an online interview has landed the contentious transgender activist in hot water. So the Mounties arrived at the Langley, British Columbia apartment of Jessica Yaniv on Monday, just hours after she demonstrated the weapon during a live YouTube interview with transgender commentator Blair White. She says, I don't need to be scared in my own house that I'm going to get fucking attacked, Yaniv said, the rest of her sentence drowned out by the sparking stun gun she stuck into the camera. Then she says, which is illegal in Canada, just saying. So hours later, RCMP knocked on her door. That was just stupid. Yeah, this is just stupid. You know this is an illegal weapon. You're going to go on YouTube in your home with your face and point it at the camera, stunning the camera, sparking the stun gun. Yeah, I'm glad they put this person in jail. Yaniv 32 gained notoriety over ongoing human rights complaints against BC aestheticians, many newcomers to Canada who declined to give her Brazilian wax due to her penis and testicles. Look, you are a nasty ass pig. That's what you are. You're not a trans woman. That's a nasty pig. You know? They all knew I had these weapons as I showed it to them in my house, Yaniv said in an interview with the Toronto Sun. The stun guns, the pepper spray, and bear spray were all visibly present in my kitchen counter when RCMP were there. So, stun guns and pepper spray are prohibited weapons under the criminal code, and convictions can result in up to 10 years in prison. Wow, how stupid can you be? Oh, this person was like, you all just go and put me in prison. Yes, please put her in prison for her or him. You know, lock this person away. Seriously. Yaniv claimed she wasn't formally charged but released with a promise to appear. What? I don't know what I just don't know. What the hell are they doing over there? I mean, this person's obviously got a lot of problems on them, and they're causing problems, and they're getting young kids. But yeah, somebody told me about this, and I was just dumbfounded. Forcing the women to wax. That is just. I'm so not in agreement with that. I don't think it's. I don't see the women refusing to wax this transgender appearing person, to wax this trans woman's testicles as discrimination. I just don't see that. And I think there'd be a lot of other transgender people that would agree with me. So I want that to be known that number one, I don't stand for that bullshit. Okay? When you're dealing with everyday people, I don't think you need to tell them you're transgender. Okay? I don't even think you need to tell your boss. Unless you have to, unless you're planning on transitioning on the job, you know, then it's a different story. But I do think you need to tell your doctor, okay, even if you've fully had all the surgeries, fully post-op like me. If you have a new doctor and that doctor isn't, you know, a psychiatrist or psychologist, you need to tell that doctor the deal. You need to tell the doctor, okay, I am fully post-op. I'm transgender. This is the surgery as I've had, and to have that in the record there. Okay, that only makes sense because that doctor's not going to treat you. You're a unique, special patient. You have a special needs there. Okay, even if everything's good and you're healthy and everything's fine, you don't have any problems, still, your doctor needs to be aware of that. Okay? And if you have male genitals still, then you're going to need to have certain medical procedures that are designed for male genitals. That doesn't mean you're not a woman, it just means you are going to need to have that treated. You know, like, for example, what do they call that thing? Rectal exams, right? Or if you have urethral issues, you're going to have to go to a special doctor if you have male genitals still. That's just how it is. Okay. I think if you're dating, if you're on the dating scene and people can't tell that you're transgender, I think there you need to tell that person. If you have a person that's interested in you, you need to tell that person early on the deal. Don't trick people. That is not right. Every person has the right to refuse a transgender person. Okay? I don't see any. It hurts. Rejection hurts, right? I mean, when I was single, you know, it hurt every time I got rejected. Who wants rejection? It doesn't feel good, right? But people have the right to refuse. I totally get it because my personal taste. I won't say I would never date a trans woman, but my personal taste, I just prefer cisgendered women. Always have. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. Just because I'm transgender doesn't mean I should want to date other transgender people. I mean, I'm not hating on it. And like I said, you never know. I'm not saying never, never, right? Because once you say never, then that stuff comes back on you. So I'm not going to say that. But I've always had my preference, and it's just always been cisgender women. And there's nothing wrong with that. I love my trans women for who they are, and I love them. A lot of them are sexy, and they're fierce, and I love them and I support them. But I'm just I'm just not my thing. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that, and I don't see or don't fault other uh, women. If I was single back in my single days, I didn't fault women that said, "Hey, I can't deal with this. I don't want this." Or it's just not my thing. But you need to let them know early on. I think my motto was always on the third official date. But most of the time, people knew. Most of the time, the women that I went out with, they already knew because they were from my friend circle or they were from people who knew me. And, if you know me on a personal level, I don't parade it around. I don't run from who I am. I love who I am, and I'm proud to be a trans man. I love it 24/7 because it saved me from a lot of horrible stuff. Number one, it saved me from that stinking cult. Okay, they didn't want me in there. So it was either me living as me or me not existing. And, if I'm not going to exist, I'm not going to exist. I'm not going to be some kind of zombie, half living and half dead for some cult. Nope. I take control and ownership over my life. All right. So, um, but I don't parade it around, and I don't tell everybody. I don't think it's a topic that anybody should concern themselves with in most instances. You know what I mean? But now, if I was to be into Brazilian wax, and if I were to be a trans woman and I'm coming up there, ladies are different. You need to understand you don't treat women the same way you treat other men. You know, and when you're talking about waxing genitals, that's a very personal thing, even for the person, the aesthetician waxing your stuff. That's still a personal thing. You've got people's balls in your face, and not every woman wants to have that. And she has a right to refuse your stinking ass from these Brazilian waxes, you idiot. Charlie Smith says in a live chat, I found by taking a lot over kids that were abused were labeled with a big imagination before the abuse even started, covering themselves from early. Yes, that's the cookie cutter thing. They'll say, "Oh, the kid has a lot of imagination, and she's just making that up. She's not getting molested." Yes, that's another cookie cutter one. And then as they get older, even the Catholic Church has this policy to try to get the victims, when they speak out, get them put in mental institutions. So when you hear people say, "Oh, she's lying, she wasn't molested, she's mentally ill, and she's supposed to be in a mental institution," that's another cookie cutter cover up they use. Oh, there's a checklist on it. They got checklists on that. That's garden variety. Is that imagination and that trying to discredit the victims with the mental health stuff and calling them crazy and insane and all that. That's just, that's been done since ages and ages. That's nothing new. It's nothing creative. Stale garden variety predator cover up material. Yes. Sour Blaze Hayes, what's up? How you doing? Apostle Babe Linda James says this kind of waxing would not be something we were trained and licensed for. Much like we as hairdressers can get male haircuts, but we cannot shave a man. Only a barber can shave a man. Okay, that's very interesting because Apostle Babe Linda James is a beauty professional, hair professional. She's got many years of experience, and I can vouch for some of the stuff she says because she's given me some tips on shaving and taking care of a beard. And ever since I've used them, they've actually really worked well for me. So I want to thank you for that, Linda, because remember you told me the direction of shaving will help prevent a lot of bumps and irritation. That helped, and also keeping my beard dry because I had a lot of itching, and it was because I didn't dry it all the way. It's very thick. When you have a thick beard hair, you have to be sure to dry it. You can't just towel dry it because it can cause a lot of itching with the humidity in the summer and all of that good stuff. But yeah, anyway, back to this. I didn't know that. So hairdressers can give male haircuts, but they can't shave a man. Only a barber can. So that's very interesting, you see. And it's not about gender discrimination. I mean, if I, as a trans guy, went to, like, let's just make up a scenario, Linda. You're over there. Linda's haircuts, super haircuts, glam and looking good hair shop, and I come in there. I'm a trans guy, and I would say, hey, I want a haircut, and so you give me a haircut, and then I say, oh, why don't you give me a shave too? And you say, I can't do that. We're not trained for that. You have to go to a barber. If I were to just get upset and start trying to sue you for discrimination, it would be ridiculous, right? Because it's outside of your circle of competency. It's not based on, it's not something that you do anyway, period. So, yeah. Linda James says, wow, asking tampons is not uncommon. Not at the beginning of a girl's start their period. Not until age 15 or 17 do we start sharing with other girls their age. Okay. Yeah, I don't know much about, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, my mind was never like that. Like, look, if I went to the bathroom, I didn't want to see anybody. I wouldn't want to talk to anybody. Go in there, do what I need to do, and get out as fast as possible. I did never understand why women talk to each other in the bathroom and, hey, and they go in groups. That was the weirdest shit ever. Like, holy shit, what? A group together. I'm telling you, I just look, because the guys, you go in, you don't look at anybody, you don't talk to anybody, you go in, do your thing, you get out. If somebody's trying to talk to you in the men's bathroom, that's gay. Unless there's a fire, they're like, there's a fire, get out. Okay, I wouldn't call that gay, but you're standing there at your urinal and doing your thing and you got another guy in your face? No. No. Unless you're in a gay club, because they do that in the gay clubs. Look, I'm just not, I just could never understand it. The first time I was at a Ryan's buffet, how old was I? I think I was 11, right? And, I mean, back at that time, you couldn't tell that I was, quote unquote, supposed to be a girl, all right? Because my hair was as short as it was now. I pretty much look like I look now, except they made me wear those disgusting dresses. Oh, that was just so painful, traumatic. I need therapy on that one because that was traumatic. Having to be walking around in them fucking dresses. God damn, that was just ah. All right. So anyway, we were after the Kingdom Hall. We were at this, I think it's called Ryan's buffet place, American buffet place, and I remember her name was Sister Mitchell. And it was 2 or 3 other women there, and she was like, let's go to the bathroom. So all of them got up and she was like, come on, and she was motioning me like, come on, let's go to the bathroom. And I was like, no, I'm good. I was like, hell no, a whole group, what is that? And they were all so happy and just giggling and talking on their way. It was like 4 of them, and they were all going to that same bathroom. It was the weirdest experience, and I have yet to figure that out. Like, why would you want to form a bond over going to the bathroom? I'm taking a piss. I don't want to see you in my face. And I damn sure don't want to see you when I'm taking a dump. Do you want to see me with that? No. So why would you do that? Why do people do that to each other? All right, Sour Blaze. Sour Blaze says, got to go. See y'all later. All right, Sour Blaze. I know she's going to be back. She's going to listen in a little later. Ah, wait a minute. What? Sour Blaze says, my 2 cents. When she was earlier here, she said, my 2 cents. I used to be an aesthetician. Before I left the cult, I waxed balls all the time. As long as you're willing to pay the price, hair is hair. Wow. Don't tell me Sour Blaze Hayes was teabagged all the time. Oh hell no. Ugh. I would never do that, Sour Blaze. Waxing men's hairy nasty ass balls. Hell no. I'd rather go bobbing for apples in an open sewer. Hell, how much did she get paid? Look, all right, look. You know what? I might like take some tongs. I might look if I could wear latex gloves and then I could take some tongs or like some forceps and wax the balls while watching TV and not having to really look at it for maybe like $1,000 an hour. Which will never happen. But no, that's I respect people who do that, but I don't know why you would want to wax your balls. Well, unless you're like a bodybuilder or a porn star, why would you care about waxing your balls as a guy? Like, all right. Anyway, Aposta Babe Linda James says, Sour Blaze Hayes, how did you hold the skin on the testicles while waxing? Suppose it could be done. Sour Blaze Hayes says, LOL, they are stretchy, so I just stretch and hold them. I figured if I didn't do it, I'd find someone else to. I charged $120 minimum. Whoa, really? They are stretchy, so I just stretch and hold them. Uh-uh. No, I couldn't do that. Did you wear gloves, Sour Blaze Hayes? When you listen to this a little later, I want you to let me know if you wear gloves. Because if you didn't wear gloves, I'm not letting you touch anything. I'm not letting you eat out of my plates. I'm not letting you sit on my couch. I'm just kidding, I think. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, I'm gonna play a song. I'm gonna take a break right quick, but when we come back, I want to talk to you some about this a little bit more. We talked about the shootings, but I didn't really touch a lot on the immigration thing that was behind that El Paso shooting. Supposedly, the guy was a white supremacist, right? And he was targeting Hispanic, Mexican American immigrants, Hispanic, Spanish immigrants. That type of thing. So I want to talk a little bit more about that because it brings a little bit home this thing where I've outed that Jehovah's Witness elder Zeb Henry and his new mayor there, his daughter is running for mayor. She was born and raised in the Jehovah's Witness. She knows about the pedophile database. She knows about my case, her whole family, and they've been gossiping about, victims of child sexual abuse, using it as fodder for their own. I don't know. Some people just need to be able to bring another person down to where they can feel like somebody, and that's basically what they've done, just gossiped about the victims there. But there's been some new information, some disturbing allegations against Shannon Ferrari, who is actually Zeb Henry, elder Zeb Henry's daughter, and concerning white supremacy groups like the KKK. So I want to talk to you about that. There's some hot tea coming out. A lot of people's been calling me about that. I'm gonna say these KKK allegations are just that because I haven't verified them yet. So I have to call them allegations, although I truly, truly, truly believe them to be 100% true. Okay, but I do have to call them allegations for legal purposes. All right, so I'm gonna take a break now. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about these things if you want to talk about it and tell me what do you think about it. Let me see what I've got here. Oh, this is a short song. No, I'm gonna need a couple of songs here. All right, let me see what we can do here. Linda, I appreciate you coming in too, by the way, while I'm setting this up. And a Sour Blaze and Auntie Mary and everybody else. I'll be back in a second.
I've seen your face before, my friend, but I don't know if you know why. They understand the soul to be a soul that we love to rise, so you can walk the drink and the way you've been. So we'll take the lights, and I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh, love. I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. How can I ever forget the first time, the last time we ever met? The reason why you decided to move from me, I just show the way she goes, a stranger to you and me. I can feel it falling in the air tonight. Oh, Lord.
All right, I'm back. I'm back. Happy Friday, TGIF. You know, I never anticipated more than 5 or 6 people tuning into these secret live streams. Oh yeah. And I'm surprised to see 30 and 40 views and what is going on. So I think more people than I originally anticipated are watching these live streams and tuning in, listening. So I want to say to you, whoever you are listening right now, be proud of who you are. If you are the black sheep of your family, if you were left in front of somebody's doorstep, be proud of who you are. Love who you are because you are meant to be here. That's why you exist. And you have an important part in this universe. So be proud of who you are. Love who you are. Whether you're transgender or not. Black or white, male or female, short, tall, fat, skinny, beautiful, ugly. Love who you are. Because nobody else is going to love you the way you know you should love you. Well, while at the same token, if you really love who you are, you will have love for others. It will be an equal balance, a yin and yang, you see. So when you hate someone else, and sometimes it's easy to hate somebody, you know? Sometimes it's really easy to not love somebody. But at the end of the day, you always got to remember now, we are all one. And beyond this life, this reality here, we're all the same thing. And it's that conundrum, right? You can't run away from that conundrum. Because that conundrum is going to turn itself into all kinds of other things that look like other problems. But when you get to the root of all these problems, child abuse, cults, gun control, gun violence, crime, poverty, climate change, it all comes back to that conundrum. We're all one, but at the same time, we're all our individual selves. And how do you deal with that? So, yeah. It's that conundrum. The paradox. Anyway, going back to Earth now. I got a little spacey out here. What's up, Mel S? Hello again. Hope all are having a great day in and out of the stream. That's alright, baby. We love you. Listen, if you need to take a break, you need to go somewhere, you know, it's a Friday party. I don't get to do parties all the time. I'm about to do a roast, though. I'm gearing up for the roast. So if you're tuning in a little later, this is the part where I'm going to start gearing up for the roast. Because somebody needs to be roasted. Yes! It's funny how I can start talking about roasting right after I say we're all one. But hey, did I say I was perfect? No, I didn't. Wait tonight. Better one night to find the answer. Talk to me. Oh, talk to me. I wanna hear your sorrow. Just talk to me. We'll make a new tomorrow. Just talk to me. One night to find the answer. Just talk to me. We'll make this happy sometimes. I'm feeling it now. Something to lift the mood from that other car. I hope you're feeling good this Friday, because I am feeling good. Glad to hang out with everybody. It's been a minute here and there. And I know there's some critics listening in. I wish you a good Friday as well, whoever you are.
What makes this heart beat faster?
Oh, yeah.
What makes this heart beat faster? We'll make a note tomorrow. Talk to me.
All right. So let me tell you about this right here. Okay. If you're just tuning in, I'm already laughing. There's some hot tea. Hot tea. Do you hear me? Scalding hot tea from Alabama. I got me some hot tea from Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama. And I'm going to have to tell y'all a little bit about that hot tea. It is scalding hot. Scalding hot, honey. Yeah, that Alabama tea is scalding hot. So, apparently what we got going on here was, we got a mayoral candidate out of Montgomery, Alabama, and her name is Shannon Henry Ferrari. Now, her dad is Elder Jehovah's Witness, Elder Zebedee Henry III. And he is one of many elders over there in Montgomery on Perry Hill Road over there at Kingdom Hall. And that know about the child abuse and all that going on. And, you know, they don't want to come forward. They want to act like they don't know nothing. But now, his daughter there, his whole family, he done raised his kids all in you know, in Jehovah's Witness. He raised all of them since they was little girls and little boys. And, okay, look. They was all raised as Jehovah's Witnesses, okay, and his oldest daughter here, Shannon Henry Ferrari, is running for mayor. Can y'all believe that? I wish I could do a goddamn screenshot. See if I can do a screenshot. Tools. Share my screen. God damn it. God damn it, I missed this Hangouts. Oh, projector? Screen. I can't. Anyway, god damn it. She's running for mayor. And I'll be damned if she's doing it Jehovah's Witness style. Jehovah's Witness, she is running for mayor, Jehovah. She is passing out signs door to door. She's personally going door to door. And instead of passing out Jehovah's literature like she should, she's passing out Satan, the devil, the Babylon, the great harlot's election sign, trying to run for the government as mayor. Knowing better than that. You know better than to run for mayor, sugar. Why are you running for mayor when you know Armageddon is right around the corner? Why are you running for mayor when you know goddamn well Armageddon is going to be here tonight? And you are in Satan the devil's system of wicked things. This lady is, they said, let me tell you, if you go on Reddit, if you Google Shannon Ferrari Reddit, and you go on down there, scroll on down, you're going to find somebody who said that they allege, I'm going to stress allege, that she is a political groupie. Well, she was. They said back in 2007, they said back in 2007, she was an attractive political groupie, snuggling up to the politicians there, you know, who she thought was the elite, and getting in bed, opening them legs. That's what they allege. Don't come for me. I'm not saying you did. I'm saying they allege that's what you did. Okay, so anyway, they allege she done opened them, coochie legs and just spread herself around and let them do whatever, pass her around or whatever. And when they got done with her, they were done, and she's still trying to hang on. So what they're basically saying is that because she's got to have an ego that she decided she was going to be the elite. She was no longer going to try to snuggle up to them. She was just going to go and be elite and run for mayor. And they said they alleged that's why she opened up that Facebook page. That's how she got her followers, and that's basically her credit, is that she got Facebook famous over there in Montgomery, and now she's ready to be mayor and governor and maybe even president. She don't, why not, right?
Woo! Well, honey, I don't know, honey. I don't know. I thought she was a sister in Jehovah. I thought she was a sister at the Kingdom Hall. I don't know why she is thinking she's going to run for mayor when she knows Armageddon is going to be here real soon. I don't even know what she's doing, honey. It is perplexing to me, honey, because she was raised in the truth, honey. She knows better than that. She is speaking in churches, honey. She is up in Babylon, the great harlot, being a groupie up in there. The harlot of Babylon, honey. And then you know what the harlot does, don't you, honey? The Babylon, the great harlot, fornicates because she knows Jehovah's truth and she fornicates with the governments on the earth. That's why she's riding the wild beast, because she is fornicating with them government people, laying in bed and adulterizing, honey, just like Scarlet. That's why that harlot got the scarlet letter on her, because she was an adulteress, honey. She was sleeping with married men, honey. Can you believe that home wrecker, honey? How dare she point the finger at anybody and talk about she's Christian, honey, when she ain't nothing but a fornicating adulteress? Don't you let her near your man, honey. She ain't nothing but a man-eating spider hag, boo. She done ruined every man that came in her life, honey. Yes, she has, honey, boo.
Wow, Billy Bertha, you know some gossip, don't you? Are you sure all that's true?
Honey, that's what they allege, honey, boo.
Damn. Guess Sister Billy Bertha's letting it out. Shoot. Let me see. I want to do a screen share. Screen share Expl. That's my encoder. Go to add sources, screen capture, monitor capture, then select which desktop you want to capture. Oh, so you mean to tell me it is possible? Let me write that down. Okay. Add sources, screen capture, monitor capture. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to show you a picture here, because pictures are worth 1,000 words, and I just like to have images up when I do my roasting. And which is the first one I'm going to pull up here? Here. Oh wait, no. I want to show you this hot tea first. Yes, right here. Okay. Okay, so hopefully this works. Add sources. Oh, here we go. Add source. Screen capture. Oh, here we go. Monitor desktop 1. Yes. Can you guys see that? Oh, that's great. Yeah. All right. So now how do I stop this? Oh, yeah. I should have looked up how to stop this. Let me see. Screen capture, monitor capture, desktop. Shit. This only like multiplied it. Fuck. Oh, now I've got it blanked out, right? How do I? Oh, there we go. Delete. Ah, good. All right. Monitor capture desktop 1. Let me do one thing though. There. All right. Ready. Screen capture. Monitor capture. All right. So all right. Check this out right here. Uh, over here it says, "Wow, interesting. Read." A guy named Nick for Life Evans in this group. It's a public group, by the way. These are all public posts in a public group. Okay, so don't get upset talking about, oh, you took private screenshots. No, they took this from a public group. It says here, Nick for Life Evans says, "Wow, interesting." Okay, anyway, Ashley Milford over here says, "Hot tea alert, mayoral candidate Miss Fake Dash in Ferrari with that Crypt Keeper hairdo. She needs to stop shopping in the bargain bin Sally Beauty Supply Family Dollar store for her clip-on wig. She is running for mayor, not a Jehovah convention." Anyway, there's more to that. So anyway, this guy was like, "Wow, interesting read. I did a little digging and found out it's true. Being from the north side of Montgomery, Sheridan Heights, I asked a couple of friends about the Henrys, and they said it was a fact that the father, Zeb, used to even attend KKK meetings in Boylston back in the day and even took Shannon with him to a few. Not the type of mayor I want or feel comfortable with." Now, that is really, really interesting, isn't it? Because that makes sense why Zeb Henry never, ever, ever looked at anybody who was colored, much less black people. That makes total sense. If that allegation is true, which I tend to believe is 100% true, then it makes so much sense. And I'll tell you, I think once that gets in a person's system, it's just like that Jehovah cult. That stuff never leaves them. Now, this one over here, Nick for Life, Evans says, "And people say she's strange. She's the change Montgomery needs. Fuck out of here." Then Sienna over here says, "Stay woke. People have to research things themselves." Then Nick says, "I've researched and I don't like what I found." Then Sienna says, "Me too." And then Kay Renee says, "What are some of the things you found?" And he says, "I grew up on the north side in Sheridan Heights, so I went to school at Chisholm. Suffice to say, I know quite a few people who grew up in Chisholm back in a time when people of color, black, Hispanic, Asian, etc., didn't live there. I've asked around about old Shannon and her pappy Zeb, and from what I've been told by multiple sources is that Pappy was a very outspoken racist who attended Klan meetings on a regular and took dear old Shannon with him a lot. I've also learned through research on the internet that the family is embroiled in deep controversy concerning the Jehovah's Witness Church that in most cases are involved with rapists, molesters, pedophiles, murderers, and all sorts of criminal activity. On a personal note, I started a page called Taking Our City Back and was trying to spread the word so that we, the concerned citizens of Montgomery, could come together and try and come up with solutions about the state of the city's violence and other derogatory happenings. And she blocked every attempt of positivity that it would promote, yet she enforced the blatant racist comments and innuendo prompting race hate, another verification that she herself indeed is racist, and proceeded to use the slogan I came up with for the page in her campaign. Wow, she stole this man's slogan for her mayor campaign? Ew. Oh, that is so nasty. Oh, how I'm just like it. Wow, like can you get any more lame than that? You gonna steal this dude's slogan for your mayor campaign? You know what? That's like going to the dollar store and stealing deodorant. You know, like ew, you're really gonna like make somebody else pay for your shit? Ugh. I started a page called Taking Our City Back, and was trying to spread the word so that we, as the concerned citizens of Montgomery, could come together and try to come up with solutions about the state of the city's violence and other derogatory happenings, and she blocked every attempt of positivity that it would promote. Yet she enforced the blatantly racist comments and innuendo promoting race hate, another verification that she herself is indeed racist, and proceeded to use the slogan I came up with for the page on her campaign. How can you block a page promoting change because it draws attention from your campaign, but you steal the slogan of the page for your needs? Just saying, I could go on and on, but I won't be petty. No, that's not petty, man. That is not petty. It's petty on her end, but not on your end. You're not the one running for mayor. So yeah, this is there's a lot of stuff about Zeb Henry and the Jehovah's Witnesses there now, and Shannon shitting is what I call her. But yeah, that's really nasty. Wow. Renee says, yeah, I've heard the same about her. So K Renee has heard about the Jehovah's Witness scandals and her stealing people's slogans and the KKK stuff and all kinds of stuff. And then Nick for Life says here, he says, K Renee, the thing is, she doesn't think that we're smart enough to realize that she knew she was going to run for mayor years ago. So she started up the page to gain some name recognition in the election. So this was her only credit, was because she's Facebook famous. Because she's got a large Facebook group. How many of those 60,000 people are bots? How many of them live in Montgomery? If they're real people, how many of them are in Nigeria? I want to know how many of those mofos are living outside of Montgomery, Alabama, okay? And then I want to know, when is the last time most of those people engaged or interacted on that page? All right, anyway, says here, she doesn't think that we're smart enough to realize she knew she was going to run for mayor years ago, so she started up the page to gain some name recognition in the election. When asked tough questions, she blocks anyone who calls her out on her shit and deletes the post, or vice versa. She is not qualified to run the city, and it's becoming apparent that she doesn't have funds to finance her own campaign. If she can't even raise money for publicity and promotions, how in the hell can she be expected to raise the standard of living in Montgomery? Like Sienna Coppage said, wake up, people. Facebook fame, however small it may be, is not going to win the election for her. If she's lazy to the point of not trying to raise money, she'll be lazy as fuck in office. So what do you think about that? I think he's on point, actually. I really do. I mean, if you can't raise any money, that's the whole name of the game. That's the whole name of the game. Where them dollars at? Where are those dollars, girl? Where did you put those dollars? Did you raise anything, girl? Were you able to raise anything, Shannon Ferrari? Were you? I need to know because from the looks of it, sweet cheeks, nobody wanted to give you nothing. You know, like I've been saying all along to people, just because you have X amount of followers doesn't mean a damn thing. If you can't get them to do something for you that you want, then you can have a trillion subscribers and followers. It will not do you any good. You see, it's not enough just to have them sign up to your page. You have to cultivate a relationship with people if that's your expected outcome. If you want to be somebody who wants to run for office, you have to do what's called the relationship thing. Down here at the bottom, Exhibit 1. We're going to put Shannon Ferrari on the docket today. Okay, and after her, we're going to get Jeffrey Epstein up in here. So don't worry. Don't think you're special. Don't think somebody's focusing in on you because you're not even part of the big picture. I mean, you're a tiny little grain, but you're nobody that, anybody's really worried about. As we can see, there's no dollars. Even Victorious Felder over there, the bail bondsman guy, he got $1,100 raised. The first category is the amount that each politician has raised, and then the second one is the amount that they have already spent on their campaign. So as you can see in highlight down there, we like to do the watchtower highlighting on stuff, you know what I mean? So it comes from a news article. You can Google this, WSFA News. More than 500K raised so far in Montgomery's mayoral race. And we took a screenshot over here. And of course, you see what she's up against over there. Stephen Reed with $250,000. David Woods, not overnight, almost 100 grand. 6 figures. Okay. The other ones here, Hops and Cox, nobody knows about them. Nobody cares. And down here at the very bottom is Shannon Henry Ferrari. Okay. All right. So this is what we know. This is a fact. You can Google this right now. You can get it in like 2.5 minutes. Okay. And verify. Okay. So all right, so this is your exhibit here. This is the evidence, okay? Because in a minute, we're going to go and check out what Shannon's doing. She's got a big-ass party. I'm telling you, that party was lit. It's a campaign party. Her grand opening for her campaign, when there's only like 3 weeks left for election, she decides to finally have her grand opening. Okay, but hey, I'm telling you, that party was lit. I was just like blown away, man. I was like, wow, all these people, man. Yeah, maybe she did get some money because wow, look at this party. This party must have cost $1 billion. It was just lit. So, you ready to see her campaign party? All right, hold on. Let me do this for you then. Let me do this right here. Where's that party photo at? Where the party at? Right here. I'm telling you, this party was lit, folks. I don't care what anybody says. Right? This party is lit. Okay? I was like, wow, all these voters. Oh, wow, maybe she is going to win for real. She is really going to win. Where the party pics at? All right, now, remember, keep in mind now. Okay? I want you to keep this in mind now, folks. This is on a public page. This is her mayor page. It's public. So these screenshots are taken from a public page with public posts. Nothing is private. Okay? So if you don't want the public to look and talk about stuff, then don't put it out there. You know, it's just like Kaya Shimon says, Motormouth Kaya. She says, if you don't want it to be put out, then don't, if you don't want people talking about it, then don't put it out there. All right? So that's my thing to you. Okay? Oh, wait a minute. I don't want. Yeah, this is the one right here.
I hopped up the plane at LAX with a dream, my cardigan.
This party is lit, man.
Am I gonna fit in? Jumped in the
right here.
For the first time. Look to my right and I see the Hollywood sign.
Thanks to everyone who attended my campaign office grand opening yesterday. Wish I had gotten pics with everyone. There was so many people there. I truly appreciate all who took the time out of their busy day to stop by. If each one of our volunteers worked hard making a success, you still need a yard sign, please let me know. I'll come to your house. Give me your address. Look at this party. Look at all these people. Look at all these big signs. Look at all these people. This is her family, by the way. One friend right here. Look at all these people. Bam. Another person. Yes. And then one more. Okay, same people. All right. Where's the party at? They'll be here. Don't worry. They're just a little late. Okay, all right. We're ready for this party. You ready? I'm ready. All right, let's go. You ready? Ready. Okay. All right. As soon as the people get here, we're gonna party. Yes. We're gonna do this. Yes. All right. You ready? Got everything? Yes. Okay. Let me check the sign in the back. Is that poster hanging good? Yes. All right. Let's do it. All right. Yes. Look at this party. Yeah. Look at all these people. Woo! Yes. Look at this party, man. Yeah. Party lit. Lit up in here. Whoa, yes. Look at all this food. We got real food up in here. We got real food. Ribs, chicken, pizza. None of that Walmart shit, like pigs in a blanket and crackers and fucking chips. We ain't got that bullshit here. We got real food here. What are you talking about? Look at all this food, man. All these people, man. Yeah. Look at that big sign, girl. Famous, important, VIP. Booyah. Yes, girl. Blow it up big. Right underneath them crackers, pigs in a blanket. You have goddamn chips. Fuck wrong with this motherfucking shit? Let me tell you something right now. Nobody's gonna come to your damn campaign for some damn crackers, bitch. You better put some pizza out here at least. Who's gonna drive across town for some damn chips, girl? And then you only got two plates. Like, you knew nobody was gonna show up. Why even bother put that shit out, girl? Look at this right here. Look at this party. Yeah, look. Like I said, we looked at the finances, right? So if there's zero she's raised, then she's got no money. That's why this party looks so hurt. This party is hurt and sad, girl. I mean, you partied with empty chairs and balloons and big posters of yourself. I mean, you basically had a party for yourself. Because nobody wanted to come to that fucking KKK undercover Klan rally that you tried to set this up as. It looks part like a. Let me tell you what this shit looks like right now, because I'm ready to fucking curse. This shit looks like a cross between a broke down fucking undercover KKK Klan rally and fucking cult Jehovah's Witness field service. That's what this shit looks like. Does this shit not look like some field service shit? You know, when they had food for the pioneers or whatever the fuck they call that dumb shit over at the goddamn Kingdom Hall right before they went preaching door to door. And I guarantee you she went door to door handing out signs after this. She had field service all over again. This is nothing but field service with big pictures of herself. Instead of people worshiping Jehovah, she wants to have idol worship. She wants to be worshiped because she's partaking with Babylon the great harlot. She is mixing and fornicating with the wild beast, the governments. Isn't that what Jehovah's Witnesses believe? Isn't that what you were taught since you were a little girl, Shannon Renee Henry Ferrari? You want to point the finger at me? Well, I'll point three back at you, sweet cheeks, and tell you everything is wrong with you, and then have a good laugh at it because you can't accept yourself. I can accept myself with all of my good and bad points, but you can't. Your ego is super thin. I mean, it's made out of sugar. My goodness. You know, every person that said something about you, you sent a cease and desist notice. Here I thought I was special. Here I thought you were writing me undercover love letters in the guise of a cease and desist. But no, you are just spreading them damn things around, writing them to every Tom, Dick, and Harry that has anything to say about you. Well, let me tell you about something. That's why these chairs are empty, bitch. That's why all these chairs are fucking empty right here. Look at this. A big ass poster of you. And nobody came up to look at it. Nobody came up there to look at that damn poster, girl. And you had crackers out for people. You had crackers and potato chips out, and they didn't even drive. They didn't get in there, get off their lazy asses to come see you. Look at that. You had to take a picture by yourself with yourself. You had to take a picture by yourself next to your poster because nobody came to that motherfucking campaign party. Nobody. All of 4 people, girl. And these right here, this is your family. They don't count, of course. And then how come not all your family's up in it? How come only this guy right here? I'm gonna tell you something. He's a hired. He was doing the signs for you, girl. Look at this. Where is he at? Right here. This guy right here, he is happy to get a customer, I have to say. Yeah, he is really happy to do those signs for her. All right, girl, go on and spend some more money, girl. You need to take out a payday loan, another payday loan to get some more signs. I don't think that's enough signs, girl. Look at that. That's not enough signs, bitch. You don't even have enough, girl. You only gonna have a few boxes. You're supposed to be mayor, girl. You better get some more signs. And then this little dinky ass party, I think you should have another party. And then you need to fix your hair, really, because your hair is just flat. Why are you not doing nothing with your hair? I see you bleach blonde the roots out after I talked shit about your hair. You went ahead and got a touch up on your roots right here. Right over here, you can see she got a touch up on her roots. But now, bitch, your hair is still flat. I know you look like... Now, I know on this picture here, you tried to curl your hair with a curling iron because your hair is not completely as flat as I know it to be. Because your hair is soft and limp. It doesn't do shit, okay? Let's just get it real, Shannon Renee Henry Ferrari. Your hair doesn't do shit, okay? Just like you, all right? Because this ain't shit. This right here ain't shit. These chairs, look at these empty chairs. Nobody's sitting in these chairs. What kind of party is that supposed to be? Huh? What kind of party is that supposed to be? You want people to get in their car. Look at this right here in this corner. You had 4 bottles of soda, bitch. You could have just you could have just saved that and had people come to your house, bitch. Why even bother with a building? 4 bottles of soda, bitch, you could have done that in your house. Bitch, we don't call a party unless you have an open bar. An open bar, bitch. 4 bottles of soda. Who's that supposed to be? The leftover people? I know somebody right now named Rom that'll come in your motherfucking headquarter party, whatever you want to call this sad ass affair. This is atrocious. This is atrocious, bitch. This is fucking atrocious. And I know she's listening because she's made it known she's listening to all my stuff. Good. I'm glad you are listening and watching my shit. Watch it some more. That's why it's out. That's why I put it out for you to come watch. I know you think you're like some fucking Sherlock Holmes, motherfucker, but it doesn't count if I've already told you years ago. But anyway, this is an atrocious shit right here. Okay, you want people to get off their ass? You better have some real food. Fuck some damn potato chips. That's all you could afford. That's why you got that sad ass shit up in this thing. Where is this picture I took of right here? Look at this shit. Pigs in a blanket from Walmart and these cheap ass cookies from the dollar store. I done told you to stop shopping at the fucking Family Dollar and Dollar Store for your campaign. You refuse to fucking listen. Stay out of Walmart for that shit. You need to have this catered. You need to have real food. If you want real people to show up, you need to have a taco truck up there. You need to have some ribs or some chicken, some pizza, at least some pizza, bitch. At least some pizza. You need to have some pizza up in there. You know, you couldn't have, group eat some pizza up in there from Domino's or something, from Pizza Hut. I mean, they're only like $5. You could get like at least one or two pizzas to make it look like something. Shit for your big ass poster. This is sad, bitch. Don't nobody want to elect you. Not with these fucking potato chips, bitch, and nachos. Fuck that shit, bitch. Keep that shit. So yeah, this is pathetic. This is really pathetic, bitch. You will never be mayor in Montgomery, Alabama, because you don't know what Montgomery needs and wants, and it's not you. That has been made clear, bitch. Shit. Disgusting. This party is shitty. You can't even call it a party. Yeah, but does that not look like field service to you? Does that not look like a field service meeting? This is what they serve at the Kingdom Hall. She is doing this mayor campaign just like she would be doing the Jehovah's Witness field service. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. It's very bizarre, people. I don't know what to think of it, but yeah, I tell you, Hollywood could not have made this up any better. And I am learning. I'm getting a lot of fodder for my next movie screenplay, my Hollywood debut screenplay. Shit. That was a sad, lonely ass party. You had to stand there by yourself and take a picture with your poster, your big blown up poster, so you could feel like somebody. Your picture with the name mayor, the title mayor candidate, so you could feel like you were part of the politically elite now, right? Is that what you think you are now? Well, I guess as long as you think that, fuck what the rest of Montgomery thinks. As long as you think that, then that's okay. I'm not the one who's going to take that away from you. It's like Eurythmics says, sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Look at this here. JW.org. Does this not look like a straight up field service picture right here? Organized Alabama was on site registering people to vote. So she is doing this political campaign JW style, serving where the need is greater. So yeah, I have to say her son in the middle there, the guy in the white shirt, he's like, I'm gonna turn my head down because I don't want to be in this picture. But I think this dude in the blue over here, man, you better watch your hair, your ponytail, because she's going to snag it. You see how her hair is in this picture? This is how she's had her hair for like 30 years now, 35 years. She's had the same hairstyle for 35 fucking years. How are you going to come into Montgomery and say a new vision and new leader when your hair has not been new since over 30 something years? Okay, that is way past antique. All right, the 20-year mark marks it as an antique, but you're like 30 something years, almost 40 years with the same hairdo. You need to have something else going on. You need to start with your hair first, bitch. Okay, that's what you need to do. Start with your hair first. If you want to talk about something new, and don't steal this man's ponytail, okay? Do not steal this man's ponytail. I know you looking at him like, yeah, if I could just, slip you something in your drink and whack that little that rat tail out for myself. She's eyeing his ass. He thinks he's going to register to vote, and then he's going to wake up with no hair because she done stole it. Yup. But yeah, I tell you, and then you have this. This is a very staged. I tell you, she has used this JW staging technique. This is so JW staged, isn't it? This could be in a Watchtower magazine or in an Awake magazine, you know. But now look at this. She has the person stage and pose her right in front of Christendom's church. You see now. Remember, she was raised up in the Jehovah's Witness, so she knows the deal. She knows better. So what she's using is Jehovah Witness methods of staging pictures for her campaign, the Jehovah style field service method, but she's now using it to appease Christendom, Babylon the Great, the worldly churches. That's what her belief system calls this. Isn't that bizarre? Isn't that bizarre, Shannon? So you're pointing the finger at me, calling me mentally ill and all that, and I'll let you have that. If that helps you sleep better at night, sweetheart, go, suck on it and love on it and, fill yourself with that. But I have to say there is something mentally ill about this particular path that you're on. And I think there's a lot of people in Montgomery that have been agreeing with that. And I have been watching and listening, and there's a lot of people that see you as batshit crazy. That's quote unquote batshit crazy, and I tend to wonder about that because you know better than that. You are up in these churches. Let me show you all something else. I'm going to show you all something else here. Right here. She just did another thing. This is a Praise 96.5 radio station. Obviously, it's not a Jehovah's Witness religion, right? So, what is she doing there? And as you can see, her hair, as I told you, it's just limp. It doesn't do anything. She needs to get a lace wig. She needs to do something because this is terrible looking. This hair is actually hurting her when she walks around like this because she looks like just white trailer Chisholm trash. Somebody from Chisholm that thinks they can run for mayor. But I mean, look, if Bibby Simmons is in the race. And I'm just like, I guess anybody can start running for mayor in Montgomery now. They just let anybody start running. I mean, because look at what's there now. So I guess this Christian radio station here is interviewing the mayoral candidates, and she's of course a candidate, so she's more than happy to be up in there and just forget that all the Jehovah stuff, fuck Jehovah. When she walked through them doors right there, she said fuck Jehovah. It's about praise and it's about me. Give me praise, make me mayor, and make me feel like somebody because I'm the black sheep of the family. Daddy has shunned me, and now my son is going to have a black baby with a black woman. And, I'm supposed to be KKK, and what am I doing about this? And then this fucking transvestite motherfucker is outing me about being a bisexual closet swinger. That fucking transvestite. I can't stand her. Yeah! Yeah, so I have to say this is bizarre, shitting Ferrari. I have to say, I mean, you think this man is fooled? He is. Let me tell you something. People are laughing at you. People are laughing at your fucking face right now. Let me see if I can get this picture where I saw this guy laughing. He was just tickled sitting next to you. You were so serious too. Let me find that. Oh, here we are. That ugly ass hair. Those roots are showing. Your hair looks like shitting. Your hair looks like shitting. Look at this shit right here. You see this guy, Stephen Reed? That's her political opponent right here next to her. The guy in the red tie on the top here, top right. And then you have shitting with her shitty ass hair. Your hair is shitty, girl. Looks so greasy and shit. You could have curled it or did something to it. You just washed and go, huh? Oh, stringy sauerkraut looking ass mess. Looking like the crypt keeper. Your shit is thin as fuck. I can see your scalp, girl. You better go get some Rogaine, girl. I see your thinning hairline. Shoot. But yeah, you see this guy right next to her? He's laughing his ass off. He's like, oh my God, I can't believe she's running for mayor. Yeah, she's just so serious. She's shaking hands at somebody like, yes, please vote for me. I'll be your mayor. I'll be your mayor. I run a Facebook page and I'm at the ribbon cutting ceremony every week at the chamber. I can do this. Give me your city budget, motherfuckers. Give it to me. Yeah, that's what she's thinking. She gonna get herself a new dress. She gonna get herself a new house, a new car. I hope you get a new hairdo, girl. I really do. You need to go to Thailand and get a hair transplant surgery. I can hook you up with some doctors, bitch. I know doctors in Thailand. They can do everything for you, bitch. They can make you look like a woman too, bitch. You can get that facial feminization surgery, bitch, and get your nose taken care of, because that nose is long like a motherfucking shark, bitch. I know you hate me right about now, but your nose is long as fuck, bitch. I'm telling you, you need some plastic surgery. You need to get a lace wig. You just need everything. You just need to just stop. Just put a baseball cap on and call it a day. Okay? Don't show your hair anymore. Okay? Next time I see that shit, I'm going to call the FBI on that fucking hair. All right? That's it. But yeah, there's something else I want to ask you, because now these people here, if you look earlier here, we went over this, and they alleged, I say alleged, although I believe it's true, but they alleged that she has KKK ties, her and Zebedee Henry. So now, with that in mind, and keep in mind this is all on her page, okay? This is all on the public page, so this isn't taken from anybody's private Facebook or anything. This is all coming from her public mayor page that she's posting. All right, so anybody has a right to take those pictures and talk about them. All right, that's what it's there for you to talk about. If you put it up on a public thing, then there you go. But now let's look at if you can find a common thread with the kinds of people she's surrounding herself with. If you can look at that, okay? If you can find and spot a pattern for me. Okay? Look at this here. You see this crowd here? And then look at this here. You see these people here? Okay. Now look at these people again. Do you see a commonality here? I thought this was at a Kingdom Hall, but this is not at a Kingdom Hall. This is her doing her mayoral campaign. But I swear it's Kingdom Hall pictures, field service, Kingdom Hall, JW style campaigning. It's the most bizarre shit I've ever seen of anybody do. And if you need to fire your photographer, you need to fire your publicist, you need to fire some people if you even have them hired. I hope you don't, because this is tragic. This photo opportunity is tragic, okay? I mean, this lady's cute and her baby, but we're talking about a mayor campaign, not a Jehovah Convention campaign. All right, this looks like you went to a convention. But now look at this. If you notice, look at this. You see the kinds of people that she surrounds herself with now? It's like she's going out of her way to take all these pictures with nothing but black people. She surrounds herself with a sea of black people, and she's the only white person most of the time there. Now, taking pictures with black people is not going to give you credibility with black people. Just because you got a lot of pictures with black people doesn't mean they're buying it, sweetheart. But she swears she's got people fooled. Because word is it, Miss Cracker with a triple K, Miss Cracker with a triple K. Miss Cracker is that they call you Miss White Power behind your back, actually in your face. I'll call you Miss White Power because I do think you're racist. I do think you're a cracker. I do think you're a cracker, Shannon. You know you are. How do you feel about your grandchild being black, a mixed black baby? How does that feel? Knowing that as soon as that baby's born, you're gonna have to deal with that. And then how does it feel for both your son and your daughter to be like completely like Sophie looks like she's completely just appropriated the black culture, which I think is cool, you know. But how does that feel to know that you're likely going to have another black grandchild with, through her, with, who her boyfriend is? I'm sure he's a lovely young man, I'm sure they're going to be very happy. I love it. How does that feel, huh? How does that feel? I think you should be proud and happy, but I know you probably aren't. I know your ignorance, your KKK ignorance, is making you think otherwise. Well, that's your loss, dumbass. But back to this right here. All right. Miss Saltine. Don't get salty with me, Miss Saltine. Saltine cracker. Yeah, well, I can't wait to find out more, and I think there might be some pickers out there. I tell you, don't let me get a picker of you and your daddy up in these KKK robes and shit. You know I'm gonna send that to the newspaper and the Southern Poverty Law Center, Mars D's, Rick D's, all of them are gonna get it. Hell yeah. Montgomery Advertiser, LA Times. Leah Remini, definitely, because I've been keeping Leah Remini abreast of you and Zeb Henry, the Jehovah's Witnesses there in Montgomery. Nobody gives a shit about Montgomery other than Montgomery, really. But, just in case there could be something coming out of that, we have eyes on there. We have the media's eyes on there. I make sure to keep the media's eyes locked down on you and all of your crew. So, if you want to be famous, I'll help you be famous. Might not be in the way you thought, but I'll help you be famous. Shit. There's a list that we need to get out. You can help with that. If you really want to fight crime, start with the family unit. Start at home. Clean up your own house. You know what I mean? Don't go out here and tell people how to live. If your house is dirty, clean up your own house first. Go back to the basics. Start with your own family. How are you going to rule a city if you haven't cleaned up your own house? Okay? How are you going to come after me for being LGBT and transgender when you're a bisexual closet swinger? Okay? Did you think that was going to be kept secret forever? You can't deal with who you are. You hate yourself. That's why you do what you do. Because you hate yourself. But don't look to me or anybody else to be like you. Because we're not you. And I love myself. I don't know about other people, but I love myself, and I love other people too, because I can love myself. You can't. You're still in the closet. You can't live as who you are. You still have to hide and pretend. So yeah, raggedy ass party. What the hell kind of party was that? It wasn't no damn party. Stinking ass chips. Nobody's gonna come over there for some stale ass Walmart chips. Are you fucking kidding me, bitch? Told you to stop shopping at the dollar store for your damn campaign. You won't listen to me, will you? And your hair still looks like shit. I'm glad you took them clip-on shits out, though. and dyed your roots like I told you to in the last live stream. I see you trying to fix your hair a little bit, but you're still kind of slow. Your hair looks like fucking sauerkraut, all greasy and hanging down. It doesn't do shit. It's all flat and shit. You need a lace wig. If you're gonna do this governor and mayor thing, you need a lace wig. You need to get some money together and get your hair right. That's why people aren't coming to your party, because your hair isn't right. It's your hair is bleach blonde. It doesn't even look natural. You're way too old to have that bleach blonde hair. Okay? Let me get you back on the screen. You're way too old. Where are you at? Let me pull you up. Let me pull one of these ugly ass pictures up of you. Where are you at, ho? There. Now, since you want to shame me for being transgender, let me look at you and let me see what's wrong with you, okay? Let me dissect your motherfucking ass, okay? Because I can take it. As you can see, I don't give two fucks if you tell people I'm transgender. I don't give two fucks if you try to gaslight me and make up all kinds of shit about me. Go ahead to your heart's content. I do not give a fuck. But I think you give a fuck if I talk shit about your hair. I think that really hurts you to the core. Petty shit like hair. So I'm going to talk about your ugly ass hair. This shit right here, look at this. It looks like sauerkraut. It looks like you bleached your hair with Clorox. Please don't. It looks like you washed your hair with Clorox. You are way too old for super bleach blonde hair like that. You are a grandmother now. You know you're about to have a grandchild that's black. So you need to leave that little girl bleach blonde look alone, because you're an old woman now. You're an old spider hag. Okay, you gained some weight. I see you got a belly going. Okay, you gained some weight, and you've got, look at them, look at your hands right here. Your knuckles look like hag. Those are hag knuckles. Your hands look like hag now. You're an old spider hag, a man-eating spider hag. Okay, you're 45-year-old hag. You're no longer useful to any politicians there, as far as, that little monkey business you did back in the day. You were still a little younger. You weren't no spring chicken to begin with, okay? 30s is already old, bitch. They'll, listen, for your 45 years, they'll trade you in for 220s. And you know this. So you need to go on and just face that. See, you're running away from so many things in reality, bitch. It's just pathetic. Okay, but you need to change your hair. We've got beauticians on standby that can give you a haircut. I have a good friend named Linda. She can give you a nice consultation and help you get a hairstyle more appropriate to your age, you old ass hag. You got this Clorox porn star blonde shit going. You're supposed to be running for mayor. I don't know what you're trying to run for over here. Okay, is this looks like a real estate opening house thing. This looks like half field service, half Jehovah style field service, half real estate opening house type of thing. I don't know, bitch. And you still don't have a website of your own. There's still no website. Stephen Reed and the general have websites, and you don't even have that. I thought you were elite, bitch. You can't even afford a good lace wig. You need at least $3,000 to $4,000 for a good lace wig, bitch. All right. You just need so much work, and you have the nerve to tell me something's wrong with me, or I'm supposed to. What did you say about me in that one thing? You have the nerve to call people crazy, bitch. You are batshit crazy. You are fucking insane crazy, bitch. You think you're gonna run a city? Them people don't want you. Montgomery has spoken, bitch. We saw the finances. You can do all the propping and posturing you want, bitch. Take all the pictures you want. Make it look a certain way on Facebook. But we saw the finances. We saw the amount of money you raised and the amount of money you have for this campaign. And it's zero. It's not even $1,100 like Victorious Felder, your opponent. At least he got a few dollars from his mom and dad. Your mother and father didn't give you shit because they're Jehovah's Witnesses. They're ashamed of you. You were just reinstated a few years back, accepted back into the fold, back into the congregation. You were accepted back into the congregational fold with open arms, and you turned around and started running for governor and for mayor and betrayed Jehovah's congregation there in Montgomery. You betrayed the North congregation. You betrayed your dad, Zebedee Henry, the third turd. You betrayed everybody. How could you do that shit? Apostle Babe Linda James says, please, please, please don't send her to me, honey boo. You don't want to help her out, Apostle Babe? You don't want to help her out? She needs help. She desperately needs help in so many areas. And I know you're an expert, Apostle Babe Linda James. Mel S says party pics equals an apartment complex office room. Yup. Apostle Babe Linda James says, now this is a gal who is a daughter of a brother Henry who wanted to make sure that you would not be associated with her because you were bad association, right? Yes, he wanted to keep the congregation clean, quote unquote. Yes. Yes. It looks like an unreasonable thumbnail in the lower left portion of your screen. What does? Oh, it looks like an unreadable. Yeah, okay. I don't know how to do these screen. Let me see something. Screenshot, add source, screen capture, monitor capture, desktop 1. Yeah, I have to tweak this. The setup has changed here with YouTube. They don't no longer let you do it with Hangouts, so I didn't have time to kind of work this software and learn it a little bit. So bear with me, but I can send you. We're gonna do this again, I guess. You know, it'll be an excuse to do another roast. But fuck yeah. The party pics equals an apartment complex office room. Yes. Yes. Where's the lobster for our contributors? Exactly, Mel S. Auntie, yes. Come on now. She had all of two plates of crackers, 2 bowls of cookies, and 4 bottles of soda. Bitch, who are you fucking kidding? You could have just saved that. No, she is that, her ego is that fragile that she needed a building. She needed to have a pretend party with herself where she could look at big posters of herself with the name mayor and then her picture next to it, you know, and some balloons. She needed to go through that for herself. That was a self party. That's why you had empty chairs and empty tables, because it was for her. She needed to stand next to these big posters to validate herself, because that was all that was there. All of 4 people showed up. You could have just done that at home, bitch. You could have just called them over and said, hey, I got some crackers and some potato chips and some pigs in the blanket, and I got some soda here, a couple of bottles of soda. Come on over. Let's hang out. Let's be friends. You know what I mean? Shit. I don't know who Carlos Rodriguez is. No, I'm not talking about Louise Good. Anyway, back to this over here. There we go. Back to this over here. Not about to get into any XJW stuff. I don't have time for it, no interest in it. I've already done what I've done, I already did what I did. I'm done with it. That's a closed chapter. See you later, Gator. Have a good one on that. Back to this right here with that fucking sauerkraut hair. You mean to tell me, Linda James, you're not gonna help this bitch get her hair done for the mayor thing? I mean, her hair looks like shit. It looks like plain shit. I mean, uh, her hair does she doesn't do anything with her hair. It's like 30 years, 30 something years of the same hairstyle. Can you believe that? Who does that? Who has the same hairstyle for 30 something years? Ugly as fuck. This bitch is ugly as fuck to me. She used to be semi-bearable looking, but now she is just ugly as fuck. I mean, even I look better than you, bitch. I think I look better than you, shitting Ferrari. I know you're listening to this, and I think I look better than you. And I'm a tranny. Even trannies look fucking better than you. You're old hag ass. You're old as fuck now. Used up old spider hag goods. You can't even sell that. You couldn't even get $1. You couldn't even raise a damn dollar. You couldn't ask your dad to borrow $1 and put that on your campaign finances. You couldn't even get a coupon and offer that up as part of your campaign funds. A coupon, bitch. You couldn't even do that. You couldn't even hold for a nickel or a dime. You couldn't even do that. I mean, Victoria Felder got $1,100. You couldn't even do the groupie thing and get some of these old dudes that you used to bump and grind for to give you a couple of dollars so you could have something to show for it. You had to pay for that shit out of pocket, bitch. Fuck out of here. Then you want to talk about me? You thought all these years you were talking shit about me, gossiping to other people at the Kingdom Hall and other ex and faders and inactive ones gossiping about me. Oh, she's transgender. You thought you were the only one laughing, bitch? Well, guess what, bitch? I was laughing at your ass too. And so apparently is the rest of Montgomery. So we all laughing, bitch. We're all laughing at each other. How's that feel? How's it feel to be the laughing stock? People talking about you. Hmm? And you have some nerve talking about me when you're in the same damn LGBT boat. Fuck out of here, bitch. You dumb, lame ass bitch. Get the fuck out of here, you weak ego ass. In the closet. Don't be in the closet and then gay bash, bitch. Don't be in the closet and LGBT bash. Don't be in that closet and transgender bash. Don't be in the closet. Because this ain't like Michael Jackson. We're not going to keep this shit in the closet, okay? You can take that shit to Michael Jackson. You want to keep it in the closet? Take it to Michael Jackson. Because this ain't Michael Jackson over here, bitch. I'll rip that shit right out of your fucking closet, bitch. I'll air your motherfucking LGBT laundry like it's nobody's business, bitch. Like it's going out of style, bitch. You come for me, I wouldn't have never told anybody you were bisexual if you hadn't come for me for being trans. But since you opened that door, well then we'll go through that motherfucker, won't we? Shit, you should have kept your shit quiet. You should have been like, I'm not gonna do that because he might out me for being. Because I know he remembers all that shit I told him back in the day. Shoot. I didn't get this from no third party, bitch. I got it from you, and you know it. You know what you told me, and I still remember. You think I forgot all that shit you told me? Huh? You and I know what you said to me. You know what you told me. Said that you had your daughter to prove to yourself that you weren't lesbian because you thought you might not even be bisexual. You thought you would be lesbian because you really didn't like men. Didn't you tell me that? Didn't you tell me that, Shannon? You sure did. Told me that you had your daughter to prove to yourself you weren't lesbian. Yup. Ain't that something? You're going to put a kid in this world to prove to yourself something. So you're not doing this for the kid. This is all about you. So that daughter you raised was all about you to prove to yourself that you're not lesbian. That's that girl's whole life. Yup. Yeah. Only to be outed again when you were older. But yeah, you might as well get some thick skin, girl. Get used to it. I mean, me talking shit about your hair and how you look and all that, and your party being stupid is the least of things. You know, there's gonna be people that's gonna say way, way worse things about you. I don't think me is anybody you need to worry about as much as you might need to worry about those people in Montgomery that you crossed, because apparently, not word has it. You know, I mean, I ain't got nothing to do with it. I don't know those people, but apparently you done hurt some people out there in Montgomery, and they hadn't forgot. You know, I put it to you that way. So I don't know. You know, I hope you all can sort it out in a peaceful way, but I don't think it's gonna be all that pleasant for you. I don't know. You hurt some people. That's what the word is. So but yeah, your hair's ugly as shit, bitch. I have to say. I'm glad you tried to dye your roots. I see you trying a little bit after I told you to dye your roots. At least you're listening a little bit, but not a whole lot. Let me do something right quick. Here we go. All right, back to business at hand. And then let me try this one here. Oh, already done. Okay, so that's taken care of. Boom. All right. So, like I said, when I was looking at this thing over here, that ugly ass hairdo, I was just like, no, I've got to talk about it. Okay, and we can sit here and talk about so many things, but at the end of the day, I just have it's amusing, it's giggles, it's laughs, and it's validation. Obviously, this person here running for mayor is not being taken serious by the city of Montgomery, so whatever. But I have changed my view about the city. It's sad and it's ridiculous. A lot of stuff that I've seen, and at the end of the day, it's people still not trying to face the hard stuff in the room, the 900-pound elephant in the room. And you have it happening on the national level, and you have it happening on the individual level. You know, who knows if the city will ever figure things out or sort things out, but I thought I'd have a couple of laughs on that, and have you know a little roast. Was it a roast? Was I roasting? I think I was roasting a little bit, right? A little bit. I mean, I was cursing, so. But that party food was really pathetic. So yeah, I think that was nothing but a bootleg KKK rally. So bitch, fuck that little bullshit undercover KKK rally you had. Nobody showed up. Nobody wanted your stale ass crackers, bitch. Take that shit back to Walmart. Yeah. Take that shit right back to Walmart, bitch. See if you can get a refund so you can pay your light bill, bitch, because I know money's tight. Political campaigns cost, so I know the deal, bitch. Take it back to Walmart. Hopefully you got your money back for those fucking grapes and them 4th of July cookies from last year. Because those cookies look like they're 4th of July cookies from last year, bitch. You had them sitting in your cabinet, all molded up and stale, and then you decided to serve that to make it look like you had more food in the picture than you really did have. Because, bitch, you only had 2 plates of crackers and 1 bowl of chip and 4 bottles of soda, bitch. You could have. Oh man, let me just stop talking about her. Shit.
solo. When I touch down, keep it on the low low. I don't mess with your energy. No photos, so antisocial, but I don't care. Don't give a damn, I'm gonna smoke here. Got a bottle in my hand, bring all the. Got my hat low, don't talk to me. I've been down, give me some space. You don't know what's in my brand new. Say love is in my brain. Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me, I can't revive yet. On something, on something, on something, I wanna buy it. Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me, I can't revive yet. Won't let nothing come in between me and the night. Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me, I can't revive yet. On something, on something, on something, I wanna buy it. Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me, I can't revive yet. Won't let nothing come in between me and the night.
I need room, where you standing way too close, you might catch fumes, when I zoom, as I wake up by myself, right past noon, then I'm through. Hennessy drowning all of my issues. Right before I leave, she give me more than just a mission. That thing got my back just like my engine, I can't hit it. Seen a vision in the wedding, we committed. I'm starting on spend you like me right in my pants. I put you down on my neck.
Don't touch me, don't touch me, I can't revive yet. On something, on something, on something, I wanna buy it. Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me, I can't revive yet. Won't let nothing come in between me and the night. Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me, I can't revive yet. On something, on something, on something, I wanna buy it. Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me, I can't revive yet. Won't let nothing come in between me and the night.
Alrighty. So yeah, I think I'm about done with shitting Ferrari, shitting Henry, shitting Renee Henry Ferrari. I'm getting a little bored with her right now, so I'm gonna have to put her on the back burner and get to Jeffrey Epstein. Have you heard any more about Jeffrey Epstein? What's the update? What's the latest? Well, this morning I was told by somebody that the attorney that helped him get off on one of his child abuse cases, the attorney's name is Dershowitz, Alan Dershowitz. Anyway, this Dershowitz was implicated as being part of Epstein's pedophile ring. Well, now this Dershowitz is saying that let me see. The Dershowitz, the lawyer of Epstein, is implicating Les Wexler, the owner, the big tycoon that owns L Brands and Victoria's Secret and a host of other retail stores that are national and international. So Les Wexler is the owner of Victoria's Secret, among other things like L Brands and other retailers. Well, Wexler was the guy that he was Epstein's one and only client ever. Epstein was supposed to be some kind of financial guru, investor, somebody to trust with your money. And this Les Wexler, this billionaire, trusts this Epstein guy with all of his money. He gives him power of attorney. Now, Epstein has a shady past. He's never went to school for any kind of financial or business. He's a college dropout. I think he taught math for a short time. That's it. And then now he's handling vast sums of money. And this Les Wexler, his friends were stunned when he let this Epstein guy into his life, because they were like, who is this guy? Who is this stranger you're letting into your life? And this Wexler ended up cutting off his friends, his own friends that didn't approve of Epstein. He cut them off. So there was a lot of cult like stuff going on. And why? Why is this guy giving this much power over so many years? So now Les Wexler is saying that Epstein misappropriated his funds. He's saying he didn't know what was going on, and the guy abused his funds. But I don't know if I believe that. When you're that big of when you're a billionaire, you have a lot of eyes and ears out there to scrutinize every person that you come in contact with. You have a security team. You're going to run background checks. If you don't know that person, you're probably not going to deal with them because it's just too much risk involved, because you have a lot of money. That's the thing. When you have more, and you don't even have to be a billionaire to deal with that mess of just having more money, more financial power. You are much more careful with who you deal with. At some point, you will learn to be much more careful with who you deal with on all ends, because you are dealing with a lot larger scale of money, and you understand and see things differently than someone that has not dealt with a larger scale of money like that. Okay, it's not just money, it's about relationships and the people that you deal with and your circle of influence. That's at the core of any type of financial dealing. So having said that, I refuse to believe this guy was that blind and that ignorant and had no idea that Epstein was quote unquote misappropriating his funds. Well, now put that aside, keep that in mind. Okay? Keep that in mind, because this Dershowitz guy, the lawyer that helped get Epstein off on that case in 2006 or 2008, is around the same time R. Kelly was getting his. He got off on his. But anyway, this Dershowitz is the attorney for Jeffrey Epstein. He's accused pedophile and accused of child trafficking and all this stuff. Having a whole island where he flew in allegedly. I have to say allegedly, although I do believe a lot of this is very, very 100% true. He flew in big time politicians and rulers and entertainers and business people and all of this stuff, bankers, lawyers, senators, all this stuff for, abuse of children. So Alan Dershowitz now is saying that Les Wexler abused people, abused children. And I'm trying to find this thing on Jamie Deluxe. It's the YouTube channel called Jamie Deluxe. So let me see if I can pull it up. What is this? Okay, this isn't helping me. Ah, shit. Oh, here we go. Humpty and Dumpty. Okay, so let's see if I can pull it up here. I don't know why you would call it Humpty Dumpty Jamie Deluxe. So let me see if I can pull this up here.
Tuesday, August 6th, you would refer to by their employer. The one making rules and abuse for a few of prominent started every 2019. The facts, August 6th.
Okay. More than 100 models are calling out Victoria's Secret over sexual harassment and abuse. So I guess what I'm going to need to do is look up this If you look up Humpty and Dumpty Jamie Deluxe Deluxe, you can watch it for yourself. I'm not going to play it now simply because I have some technical issues here that I just don't want to get into in trying. But I'll figure it out at some point in the future. We can revisit this. But in any case, this Dershowitz guy is now implicating Wexler. It's like they're pointing the finger at each other. They're saying, "Oh no, he's the bad guy. I'm not the bad guy. He's the bad guy," and it's about to just crumble. So yeah, I think all of those guys are dirty. Dershowitz, Epstein, Wexler. I don't think Wexler's a saint in this. You know, you can't tell me that you have this much money and you're going to be this clueless as to how it's being used, right? You can't tell me that. I just refuse to believe that. You didn't get that rich by being willfully ignorant about how your finances are managed. No, you can't tell me that. No, no, no. So, let's Google Jeffrey Epstein. I haven't Googled him this morning yet. Let's see if there's anything new coming out. It seems like every hour, every few hours, there's new stuff coming out. Jeffrey Epstein accuser names powerful men in alleged sex ring. What? 1 hour ago. Court releases documents about Jeffrey Epstein accused in sex trafficking. What? Is this the one? Is this the one? What? Is this the one that's where they said brace yourselves? Is this the one? Court releases about accused federal appeals court unseals more than 2,000 pages of documents. Where is it? Where are those court documents? Oh, yes. Where are they? Give them to me. Wealthy financier charged with alleged procure of underage documents are part of defamation lawsuit that Epstein accuser Virginia Guffey filed against Maxwell years ago. So this is old stuff, but it's coming to light. The documents include one containing flights records showing that President Donald Trump flew on Epstein's private plane in 1997, and another in which Guffey says Maxwell directed her to have sex with former New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson and other prominent people. Oh, shit! Governor Bill Richardson? Oh, we're going to know. We need to know about him now. Who is he and what? Oh, wow. Okay. A federal appeals court unsealed on Friday. So this was yesterday. 2,000 pages of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein, the wealthy financier charged with child sex trafficking, and Ghislaine Maxwell, his former girlfriend and his alleged procure of underage girls. All right, so flight records showing President Donald Trump flew on Epstein's private plane in January 1997 from a Palm Beach, Florida airport to Newark, New Jersey. In another document, one of Epstein's accusers, Virginia Guffey, says Maxwell directed her to have sex with former New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson and other prominent people. So Guffey was a locker room attendant in Trump's Mar-a-Lago club in Palm Beach. So it's not just that the court alleges that Trump was on a private plane with Epstein at some point, but this accuser here is a locker room attendant for Trump at Trump's Mar-a-Lago club in Palm Beach. So there's several connections on several levels here. It isn't that he just so happened to fly on the plane once or twice. Okay. I'm not saying anything about Donald Trump. Okay, I don't want anybody to get upset at me. I'm not saying nothing about Donald Trump. I'm reading what this newspaper is saying here. That's it. Also said that Epstein told me that Donald Trump is a good friend of his, but that she never saw the two men together. And she said in a deposition that she never had sex with Trump or flirted with him. The White House had no immediate comment about Trump's mention on the flight logs. Richardson's office denied he ever met Guthrie and called the allegations completely false. So this was part of a defamation lawsuit filed by Guthrie against Ghislaine Maxwell several years ago that accused Ghislaine Maxwell of calling Guthrie a liar for claiming that Maxwell and Epstein sexually abused her when she was underage. She also alleged that she was abused sexually while in Epstein's circle by numerous prominent American politicians, powerful business execs, foreign presidents, a well-known prime minister, and other world leaders, as well as a noted lawyer, Alan Dershowitz, a Harvard law professor. Of course, Dershowitz is denying it. He's the guy that said he didn't do anything. He kept his underwear on. Yeah, and this is a lawyer. This is a lawyer, a Harvard law professor at that. Yeah. So yeah, Maxwell, a British socialite who is the daughter of the late media mogul Robert Maxwell, later settled that defamation case. Now, if this defamation case was not true, why would she settle? Why would Maxwell settle? Anyway, the terms of the settlement are not known, but Maxwell had tried to keep filings in the lawsuit in the U.S. District Court in Manhattan sealed. So Maxwell didn't want the public to know what was in this lawsuit. And why not, Maxwell? Why not? Why don't you want me to know about this? What is in this that you don't want me to know? On Friday, the Second Circuit Court of Appeals rejected Maxwell's request to have the full circuit review in an earlier decision by a three-judge appeals panel that had denied Maxwell's effort to keep the entire case sealed. Alright, so she really tried hard to keep this from us. So now I'm really going to dig. What are you hiding, Maxwell? The circuit court sent the case back to the district court, where a judge will decide how much of the remaining documents will be unsealed. Oh, this is not all of it? It also unsealed documents that included pleadings in the defamation case, depositions, and other material. Oh, goody, goody, goody. Oh, goody, goody, goody. Among the documents unsealed is deposition of Guthrie, in which she says that Maxwell directed her to have sex with Prince Andrew of Britain, Richardson, hedge funder Glenn Dubin, late MIT scientist Marvin Minsky, modeling What? Wait a minute. What? Among the documents unsealed is deposition of Guthrie, in which she says that Maxwell directed her to have sex with Prince Andrew of Britain, Richardson, hedge funder Glenn Dubin, late MIT scientist Marvin Minsky, modeling company founder Jean-Luc Brunel, the owner of large hotel chain, and another prince. So they're all denying it, of course. So yeah, the rest of this article here is talking about was Dershowitz doing the OJ case, Auntie? Was that the same attorney? Really? Let me look at this. Dershowitz OJ. Get out of here. Simpson murder case. Dershowitz acted as an appellate advisor to O.J. Simpson's defense team during the trial and later wrote a book about it. Reasonable Doubts, the Criminal Justice System, and the O.J. Simpson case. Oh, well. Everybody knows O.J. did it. No wonder. So this is a crooked lawyer. I didn't know that, Mel. I didn't know that. I wonder if O.J. Simpson, I hope not. I really hope not. But I mean, we all know he killed his wife and that boyfriend. We all know OJ's guilty. Excuse me. So Epstein's being held in jail without bond. Of course, he pleaded not guilty. But if the charges were to come through, he could be serve a 45-year prison sentence if he's convicted. But I think it's going to be more people coming out. You know how they started with R. Kelly. First, he was looking at 20-something years, right? And then more of them came out. And then he was looking at 70-something years. That's when he went on Gale and started screaming and crying and having a meltdown, having a man toddler. I know he wanted to knock Gail in her face, but he couldn't do that. He could not do that, but I know, he was like, I'll knock you out, bitch. But he couldn't do that. But he was swinging his hands and balling his fists in the air. If there was no camera and if Gail was one of those sex slaves he has, he would have knocked her to the ground. You know this. We all know this. Gail was just as cool as a cucumber. She was like, I hope you don't touch me, because my bodyguards will pulverize you. So, yeah, here's the thing I have a problem with, people. He is already a registered sex offender, having pleaded guilty to prostitution charges involving an underage girl in 2008. So, why are people still dealing with him after that date? Because you had to know. Now, Wexler claims after that date he no longer had anything to do with Epstein. But then Epstein is still living in that mansion that Wexler owns. That $77 million one. So what's the deal with that? You know what I mean? So yeah, a lot of shady holes there. A lot of holes in this. It's creepy, isn't it, Mel? It's really creepy. It's really creepy. I mean, why would you give this guy who's a college dropout? I'm not saying people who didn't finish college can't be geniuses, and I'm not saying you can't be successful and you can't make a lot of money. Okay? I'm not saying none of that at all. Because there is something to be said about being practical, streetwise. You know what I mean? Like Sam Walton. Sam Walton didn't go to college, and he became rich. He's the founder of Walmart. So I'm not saying any of that, but there is something for education. There's just some things you can't do without a proper education. Now, you might be able to get that education on your own, and it's no guarantee that if you go to college or to a university that you're going to get what you need. You have to be proactive all the way. You can't sit back and depend on your teachers and professors to lay it all out for you. There's a lot of stuff you still have to do on your own, even when you are getting a formal education. But it does help. I'm a true believer in education, and I think using a combination of practical knowledge, self-educating, and formal educating, licensing, credentialing, whatever it is you need. I think if you have as many different legs to stand on, the better. But now, when you're dealing with high, large sums of money, once again, these are levels that you can't just jump out in if you're not experienced, if you don't know what you're doing. A good case in point is the mayoral candidate that we crack so much fun at and have a good laugh at, She doesn't understand that once you become a public figure, you can't sue people for talking crap about you, and it's an automatic giving that you're gonna have people talk crap about you, because that's what people do with politicians. You're gonna have people talk about you in negative ways. They're gonna air out all your faults, and that's how it is. You're gonna have lots of critics because you are now considered a public figure. But because she's out of her realm, she's way in over her head. She doesn't get it, and she refuses to get it. So she sends out cease and desist notices to everybody who talks about her in a negative way, and she claims harassment and bullying. And if she has to go on your page, if she has to stalk your tweets to feel harassed, she will do that. So when you're in over your head, it's not a good thing. It's not a safe space to be, right? But now you have this guy, Jeffrey Epstein. He's handling large, vast sums of money, multi-millions of dollars, with just barely a college education, college dropout, only one client. His financial business, his financial investing business, has only ever had one client, which is this Les Wexler, this multi-billionaire. Now, anybody who's run any kind of business, if you've created your own business, if you're an entrepreneur, you know that you have to hustle to get clients. And if you're nobody, if you're just starting out, you're going to deal with people at a certain level, so you can build your way up to the bigger paying clients. The likelihood of getting a big fat paying client right away, especially a billionaire, right, is zero. Who does that? So here there's already the problem I see. You're one and only client, and this is a billionaire, and this is all you've ever had. I don't understand what kind of business that is. That's not a business in the real world, you know. So I don't know what kind of setup that is. Does that seem a little sketchy to you too? It certainly does to me. So let's take a look at some of these other articles. I'm on Google, and I just simply typed in Epstein, Epstin. Okay, so I'm going to click a couple of these articles, and we're going to read them together, bits and pieces here and there, and talk about them if you want. I'm drinking some Lipton tea right now. So good. Green tea, citrus. All right, so let's see. Epstein accused. Where is this list at? I want to see these documents. Where are they at? Epstein dumps include claims that Ghislaine Maxwell, his former girlfriend, punished girls who failed to provide Epstein with orgasms. Oh, what the fuck? Where are these court documents? Are they redacted? I hope they're not redacted. I want to see them. Where is the document dump? Where? Where is the document dump? Where are these documents? Where can I find the Epstein 2,000 page documents? Where are they? Court to unseal. Where are they? Give me this thing. All these things, they talk about it, but they don't have any links for the things. Where are they? Give them to me. This is a shame. You're gonna tease me like this and not tell me where the hell these documents are? It's a damn shame. Come on, New York Post. I'm gonna click this New York Post. You better have a link for me, man. Where are these documents? Numerous prominent American politician, blah blah blah. Manhattan Federal Court. Alright. I might have to pay for them, huh? Manhattan Federal Court. Manhattan Federal Court. Epstein document. Download. Download U.S. versus Jeffrey Epstein indictment. Oh, get out of here. Read full indictment against billionaire Jeffrey Epstein. Is this the one? Justice.gov. No, this is the federal indictment that where he's in jail for now. This isn't the Ghislaine defamation thing. So I need to get, let's see, Ghislaine defamation suit. Where the hell are these files? Give them to me now! I'm so pissed at that. All these articles talk all this stuff, and they don't want to put the link up. Okay, so I'm going to have to Google this a little later, I guess. Oh yeah, Auntie, no worries. You know, I love hanging out. I love to share my time here and there when I can. $75 a page. I don't know. I hope not, because that's 2,000 files. Let's see. Let me click this link here. Let me see what this article says. So today, the Second Circuit Court of Appeals directed the parties to provide the court with any final redaction requests. All right. Virginia L. Guffrey and Ghislaine Maxwell. Second Court of Appeals. Second Circuit Court of Appeals reversed the lower court ruling. Okay, so we're looking at, this is like reading minute orders. Second, Cerno Media led charge. Okay. Once again, there's no freaking link. I don't know what this says here. Court unseals pages of documents relating to Jeffrey Epstein. I can't wait to get those pages. I'm going to so talk about that. I'm going to go through these pages. I'm going to analyze every bit of these pages. I'm going to mind map, photo read these pages. The documents be upsealed, holding a decision made on July 3rd. Links. I guess it's not out yet. I guess it's not available yet. Okay. I guess it takes a minute for them to be out, huh? Well, Epstein accuser names powerful men in alleged sex ring. So this is from thedailybeast.com. This was updated today here. Newly unsealed documents. In newly unsealed documents, Virginia Guffrey claims that Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell trafficked her to politicians, princes, and high-flying financiers, among others. So I think this is basically saying the same thing as the other one. there's a picture here with this Ghislaine Maxwell and Naomi Campbell from 2002. So I don't know, I tend to be suspicious when I see people together in pictures with Epstein, right, and with Maxwell. But at the same time, I know that there are people that will just take pictures with you, to make it look like you're best of friends. It doesn't mean anything. They just take pictures, and taking pictures alone with people doesn't necessarily mean that you're friends with them or that that they're anybody, that they're a real connection. But people do use that. They use these pictures for credibility and name dropping and influencing. They put them on their Facebook or what have you. So yeah. But now this governor here of New Mexico, people are looking at him funny. Another politician accused by Guthrie is George Mitchell, the former Democrat leader of the Senate and Bill Clinton's special envoy for Northern Ireland. So Bill Clinton is somehow involved or implicated there. This Dershowitz is chirping a lot. He's saying Dershowitz also claimed in a deposition that Mitchell was Epstein's Palm Beach house guest. Epstein's ties to scientists have also been under intense scrutiny since his arrest on sex trafficking conspiracy charges. The father of AI and the late MIT cognitive scientist Marvin Minsky was part of a glittering set of academics that Epstein collected as friends. So yeah, some people do collect people. It doesn't necessarily mean they really know them, or but then I'm still suspicious. I'm at the same token, I'm like, well, I don't think you're all that clean either, because you knew this guy was he had pled guilty to child molestation or whatever. They called it something else, but basically it's soliciting prostitution to a minor. That's child molestation. It's pedophile. I don't know why they would call that soliciting prostitution when that is a child, and you just need to go in and call it pedophile. Okay, child sex crime. That's what that is. But in any case, even the government gave him only 13 months probation, and they let him do as he pleases 12 hours a day and hang out with friends. And, he wasn't behind bars. So he even got to fly in his plane to the Bahamas. I don't know what kind of jail sentence or I know, where you get to fly to the Bahamas or whatever, but I think a lot of people were complicit in this in many, many different levels. So I hope we get to clean this up. I hope we as a human society really, really take this chance to clean this up. It's going to be hard. We're all going to have to take a hard look at ourselves and at each other. This is disgusting what I'm seeing here. This Prince Andrew, it said here, a 2001 picture of Andrew with his arm around Guthrie's waist surfaced alongside her bombshell story a few years ago. Another young woman named Johanna Joberg told the Daily Mail that Andrew had groped her at a party at Epstein's mansion. She repeated those claims in a videotaped deposition included in the just unsealed court documents. She said that she sat on Prince Andrew's lap at Epstein's 71st Street Palace, and that Andrew touched her breast after using a puppet to show what he would do on Guthrie's body, with the puppet touching Guthrie's breast. Andrew, known as Randy Andy in the British press for his penchant for partying, has previously denied these claims. Then there's a quote here: he needed to have 3 orgasms a day. It was biological, like eating. In the deposition, Joberg said Maxwell approached her in the winter of 2001 on the campus of Palm Beach Atlantic College, offering a job for answering phones, which she did on her first visit to Epstein's Palm Beach residence. On the second visit, she met a young woman whom the Daily Beast is not naming, who took Joburg up to Epstein's bedroom. They both massaged Epstein. When he got up from the table, she says the other young woman got on the table naked and showed Joburg moves that Epstein liked. Joburg says she was then massaged by Epstein and the young woman nude. Joburg says Maxwell referred to the young woman as her slave. Maxwell's job, Joburg says, was to find other girls that would perform massages for him and herself. Epstein also allegedly told Joburg he needed to have 3 orgasms a day. It was biological, like eating. In another deposition included in the unsealed documents, Tony Figueroa, Epstein's former bodyguard, testified that Guthrie told him about threesomes with herself, Maxwell and Epstein involving strap-ons, and claimed that Epstein wanted Guthrie to have sex with Prince Andrew and Maxwell and all the other girls. What? Ew. Testified Guthrie told him about threesomes with herself, Maxwell, and Epstein involving strap-ons. Now, why would Epstein wear a strap-on? Unless he has Maxwell wear the strap-on him. Good God, this is nasty. Maxwell's lawyers hit back hard at Guthrie's claims in the unsealed documents, painting her as a troubled young woman with a history of substance abuse. Oh, here we go. They're going to call her crazy, right? They called her crazy. They called her a druggie. Oh, yeah. They attacked her on being mistaken on the date that she started working at Mar-a-Lago, called on former boyfriends who said they didn't remember Guthrie mentioning Maxwell to them. Although at least one did say she was talking about giving massages to Jeff. Maxwell's team also noted that Guthrie received money for her stories that appeared in British press. Okay, they're always talking about she's trying to get money. That's another classic one. She should get money. Not that it would change anything, but yes. I'm all for victims getting money. There's not enough money that can make that go away, the pain that they go through, but they should get something. Okay, well, I'm disappointed that I can't find that link with these documents. It says here, Mel S. says, Prince Andrew has always been a pig. That's why Fergie divorced him. Yeah, that is true. So, well, he's got a big magnifying glass on him right now. If people thought he was a pig back then, they're going to really be looking at him now. I think this is about it. I don't see anything new. Let me see. Epstein's alleged sex slave reveals the men she claims she was forced. Okay. Huge record cache details how Jeffrey Epstein, Madame Lord girls. Deposition. 1 hour ago, underage girls were present when Bill Clinton visited Jeffrey Epstein. Oh. A deposition. This is 1 hour ago. Lawandcrime.com. Bill Clinton's relationship with Epstein is expounded upon. Guthrie alleges that Bill Clinton was around when she was with Epstein on his island. Guthrie claims that she flew to the Caribbean with Epstein when she was 17, and that while she was there, Maxwell bragged that she picked Clinton up in a black helicopter that Jeffrey Epstein bought her. Guthrie further says she had spent time with Clinton, and that while his Secret Service agents were there, they weren't where everyone was eating. So President Clinton there knows nothing about the terrible crimes of Jeffrey Epstein, blah, blah, blah. That's what they're saying. You know, so that's his statement. He wasn't there. He doesn't know him. He doesn't talk to him, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Well, it doesn't say that Clinton engaged in any sexual conduct there. She just places him there, so you have to keep that in mind. Certainly, it's not going to help his image, but, you know. But at the same time, I'm suspicious now. You know, you can't help but be suspicious, so there's that suspicion that wasn't there. It's there now. You know, it wasn't there before. I mean, Guthrie also mentioned in the deposition that she met former Vice President Al Gore, models Heidi Klum, and Naomi Campbell through her ordeal with Maxwell and Epstein, but it is unclear from the deposition where the meetings occurred or what interactions took place. According to the deposition, Guthrie was between the ages of 15 and 17 when she met Epstein at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago, where her father worked at the time. She also claims that she was a teen sex slave and that she had sex with Prince Andrew of the British royal family. Oh wait, is this it? Get out of here. Yes! Here we go! Oh, I found it! This is unscribed. How do I download? Please let me download this for free. Don't charge me. Scribe's gonna need me to. Let me see if I can get it. Yes. Yes. I've got it. Yes. All right. So if you're interested, it's lawandcrime.com, lawandcrime, all written together.com /high hyphen profile /deposition hyphen underage hyphen girls underage were WERE hyphen present hyphen when hyphen Bill hyphen Clinton hyphen visited. And the title of the article is Deposition: Underage girls were present when Bill Clinton visited Jeffrey Epstein's island. And you scroll down to the bottom of the article, and they have embedded, they have the article, you can read it, I mean the deposition, the 55-page, 2,000 word deposition. You can download it right there off that article at the bottom. Wonderful. Yes, I'm going to see if I can post it in the channel. Can you guys see that link? If not, I'm going to post it. Here is the link to the 55-page, 2,000-word deposition regarding Guthrie versus Maxwell defamation lawsuit. There. Boom. I'm going to put that, and then I'm going to pin that as the comment so that whoever comes across it can explore that a little further if they want. Yes! Alright. Can you guys see that? Can you see that link I posted in the channel? Let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up on this one. Yeah, it looks like it's coming through. All right, cool. So here we go. I'm going to have some things to look at this weekend. I'm going to really dig into this thing here now. Let me pull this up. Exhibit NN. Virginia L. Guthrie, plaintiff versus Ghislaine Maxwell, defendant. Identities of individuals likely to have discoverable information relevant to disputed facts alleged with particularity in the pleadings. Ghislaine Maxwell, Virginia Lee Roberts Guthrie, Philip Barden, Alan Dershowitz, Bradley Edwards. Well, this is definitely a treat here to look through and to study. I'm going to analyze and break this on down this weekend a little bit. But there's some redaction going on. I see some redaction up in here. So Agrin Blando court reporting. Okay. Yep. Did you meet Heidi Klum? This is on page 32. Did you meet Heidi Klum? Yes. Did you meet Naomi Campbell? Yes. Did you go on a 6-week trip with Epstein in 2001? Yes. Okay, so I think from what I'm getting here, I'm just kind of photo reading and perusing this right quick to just kind of get a big picture of this particular thing here, this lawsuit, this defamation lawsuit that she filed. And a lot of this is just the lawyer asking, did you meet, was this person here? Did you know this person? And the answer is yes, but there's not, some of this doesn't have a whole lot more behind that, which of course there's a lot more, like, what was Naomi Campbell doing there? Like, what was Heidi Klum doing there? How did you meet them? Under what circumstances? What was going on? So many other questions here. The FBI told me that Epstein had hidden cameras watching me the entire time when I was in the bathroom. I was so embarrassed. The FBI told me everything he did was illegal because I was underage. So yeah, there's definitely a lot more going on here. It's only 55 pages, so I've already gotten a big picture here of this, and there's definitely, you're going to have a lot more questions than answers. Actually, why don't we kind of just open this up right quick? I'm getting ready to leave, but I want to show you this before I leave here. Okay, so this is the document I have here. Case number 18-2868. And it's 55 pages, as you can see. Virginia L. Guthrie, plaintiff versus Ghislaine Maxwell, defendant, United States District Court, Southern District of New York. And the case number here, 15-C as in Charlie, V as in Victor, -07433-RWS as in Sam. Defendant Ghislaine Maxwell's initial disclosures here. And here you see you've got her lawyer there in Denver. And we got Virginia Lee Roberts Guthrie. Okay. Alan Dershowitz is here, and it says here Mr. Dershowitz has no knowledge concerning the plaintiff's false statements to the press and court pleadings and sworn testimony at issue in this matter. So they all, they're all saying they don't know, they're not part of it, and they deny it and all this stuff. Here is an email, I guess. And so you can look through these things here. I haven't looked through all of them. There's a lot of stuff I've missed probably. There's a lot. I have a feeling there's a lot going on here. But get it when you can. And I'm curious about this here. Photocopy a photograph with attachments. These exhibits are not in this PDF, and I know that we probably won't get to see all of these, but I would be interested to know what this is about. What are these attachments about? You don't remember sending to them a photograph that included this wood around another photograph. You mentioned another journalist by the name of Sharon Churcher. So, okay, so yeah, happy investigating on Epstein this weekend. If you're into it, I'm definitely going to dig around in this. I'm going to be Googling some more, keeping my ear to the ground, looking out for some more news updates. It seems like every hour there's some new stuff coming out on them, so I think before the weekend's over, we'll have a few more bits and pieces. But yeah, check this one out. Exhibit 6, FBI documentation. I'm curious about that. Objections to defendant's first set of discovery requests to plaintiff. Okay. So yeah, happy reading on that, happy digging around. I'm about to wrap this, about to make this a wrap today. And I appreciate you stopping by. It's always people coming in here listening. Never know who's listening. But yeah, I'm just, my mind is on this thing now. I want to get in this and I want to read this. So I'm like out of words now, I'm kind of out of words. But they did say people should brace themselves because of all this stuff that's about to be released. So I think this coming weekend here, be on the lookout for something. And, I might, I'll definitely tweet about it here and there as I can. And thanks for stopping by. Have a great weekend. And I think that's about it. TGIF! Happy Friday!
Showing up, don't wanna have to wait tonight.
Wait tonight, that's so rough. One night to find the answer. Talk to me. Oh, talk to me. I wanna hear your sorrows. Talk to me. We'll make a new tomorrow. Talk to me. One night to find the answer. Talk to me. We'll make the topic outside.